What is up, everyone?
What's
Welcome
good?
to the latest episode of the Night Shift Let's Talk Gaming. I am CMoney. Over on the opposite side of the screen, you see the very lovely and always beautiful Doodle.
What is up, you guys? Happy Friday. Thank you so much for rocking with us today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And down below, you see some of our guests.
Ooh,
Thank our homies for coming by and
thank you
rocking with
guys.
us. We appreciate you all. Right beneath me, we start with the legendary
Let's go.
Hargeet Shani.
Yes.
Welcome, my man. Thank you for being here, brother. We should put you on the payroll, bro.
I know, right? Well, thanks for having me. It's been a fun week, and we'll just keep rolling on, right?
Keep on
Just
rocking.
keep rolling on.
Thank you. Thank you
Things-
for being here,
Things
man.
keep popping, so we keep going. That's the way it works. And then the other gentleman, who again has been here so many times, he should be on the payroll. We love them both, but our homie
really
Fuzzy
do.
Belvedere, thank you so much for being here, man.
Fuzzy,
Appreciate you,
let's
man.
go.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Glad to be here, man. It's been a weird Twitter news week, but I'm pretty sure we'll get into it.
There's always something, Fuzzy. Man,
Always.
always.
And then we have the homie who has not been on our channel yet, but I did, in fact, have the pleasure to be on his channel a couple months back. The homie Wilmy Hood. Welcome,
go.
brother. Thank you
Welcome.
for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. And have you been molested by anybody on Baldur's Gate 3 lately?
No, I stay away. You know what I'm saying? Like I just stay away.
You gotta watch
That's
them, man.
all.
They're sneaky, man. They're like Bill Cosby.
Oh, wow.
Quickly. Appreciate you.
He's been trying to
saying
Bill
that.
Cosby in my ass. I do. I do.
Oh,
I see it.
wow.
My baby was taken advantage of.
And
Listen,
in case anybody's never heard me before, I am from New Jersey, in case you can't tell by the accent.
Woo!
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
Jersey in the house.
Are you really?
No.
Oh shit. Well,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
it's been a long week.
You never know.
Okay, so
Never
It's one of those weeks. I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't drink. I've never done drugs in my life, but looking at Twitter makes me just want to slam my head into a pine tree about 38 times.
Yeah.
And I really, it just like, I don't know, dude. Are people really this stupid now? When did the human race just lose all common sense all of a sudden? I don't know.
Well, Wilmy, it's actually humans have always been like this. Social media just gives you access to their stupidity. That's all.
But it didn't used to be so.
Amplifies it.
That's true.
Out
It
in your
amplifies
face.
it. It just shows you what's behind the curtain. You are not wrong, Hargeet. Listen, a lot of people should not be on social media. But Hargeet, you should be.
I'm gonna be
right?
one better. I think some of these people shouldn't even be breathing.
Oh.
So take that long nap.
I'm really
long
a
nap.
firm believer that they have a trainer in their pocket teaching them how to put their clothes on in the mornings, teaching them how to breathe, because it's just like, what the hell are you people smoking? I need some of this shit, apparently. Because man, it blows my mind, dude. Every morning I wake up, I'm half asleep. I got a coffee beside me and I'm reading Twitter. I'm like, oh my God. And I sit my phone down on the table and I just stare into space for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should try this again.
I recommend just delete Twitter and then your life is zen.
Well, you did, and I really, if it wasn't
Twitter's
for knowing
why.
so many people, I probably would. It's just like, oh my God, man. Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And the conversations that take place are some of these things. Like
Should not be happening.
I don't even want to get into, but I just had a recent
He did.
interchangement, like an exchange with definitely pedophiles. Have to be. Don't understand. But it's like, why? How was it like? Why? I don't understand.
It gets crazy out there.
People are wild. It's not exciting.
And it's good to know that we're not the only ones seeing this mess.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I do the same thing. I get on my phone and then I'm like, damn, life choices, huh?
Facts.
And see, the bad part, I do crime scene cleanups. If you follow me online, you know what I do. I own a crime and trauma company. And that doesn't faze me. I can clean up a brain and eat a ham sandwich with the next hand. But reading Twitter some mornings, it's just like, oh my God, I want to hurl. It just, I don't know, man. It's crazy, dude. I just don't get it.
Oh my God.
Bring on the alcohol, bring on the drugs.
Listen,
I need
this is what
alcohol.
they
And
obviously
sadly,
do.
since I don't drink, I don't have any in my house.
Oh
Maybe
my
I should
God.
fix that.
Listen, it'll drive you
boy.
to do it, though. I'll tell you
Listen,
that
don't
much.
let them make you do these things, all right?
It'll take more than them, trust me.
Yeah. I think if cleaning up a dead body doesn't do it for you, I don't think this will.
Well, I
right?
mean, they
think
don't
they're
really
strong.
complain, and they don't involve themselves in console wars, and they're not stupid. Well, I mean, they may have been stupid. I mean, you never know, but they don't tell
Like
on themselves.
you're
At
gonna
least.
see one with the phone in their hand. That's the way they went. The last thing they
That's
did
the last
was
thing.
probably tweet, "I want Xbox games," and then just
Yeah,
fell
right.
over.
That would be truly sad. That would really be sad.
Xbox has no.
I told them we were going to get Hi-Fi Rush.
Right in the middle of it. Yo, that was priceless.
And then they end up with Hi-Fi Rush, Kurt Cobain.
Oh my God, dude, it's nonstop. I have been loving the tweets that you've been putting out.
Yes.
With, just trying to put some common sense into people. I love the one where like, would you, if you were blindfolded, would you just eat something that somebody told you without knowing what it was? And you're like, no. Then
Well, let the media do
why
it.
do you? Yeah, why let the media do it? And it's like, yo, bars.
Yo, seriously,
Bars
though.
for sure. Bars for sure. Well, thank you guys for being here. We
Absolutely.
appreciate each and every one of you. And shout out to the chat
Woo!
rocking with us tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are the homies. We appreciate you here. I know there's a bunch of ponies in here sitting in the back already, getting comfortable. I know they've been harassing us. I love
Oh,
it.
they have.
It's good. Clipping us, doing all the fun stuff. It's good times. It's a good time. Hargeet, you don't know what you're missing online. You don't know what
I think
you're
he does
missing. This
now.
stuff. Oh my God, these motherfuckers turned into CIA detectives online.
They
They're like,
are
we're gonna
wild.
find out about these people. We gotta.
If they spend that much energy, I don't know, buying the freaking games and playing the damn things, then maybe, I mean,
PlayStation wouldn't be in the
PlayStation-
shitter.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
possible, but I don't know.
Well, I do
Alright.
feel
Ponies are wilding
privileged.
out.
I've actually had people track me down online, and I had a guy call me, and it blew my mind. I'm surprised he was this smart. Evidently, on my podcast, I made him mad. His name was Silverburst, by the way, in case he hasn't been leaving messages on your podcast. He somehow he tracked me down. He called me to report me to my boss, and I was like,
What?
"Dumbass, I am my boss."
Wow.
And he's like, well, he talks all this stuff online and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. And the funny part is, normally you don't really care, because in the early days when we started doing the podcast, we didn't care what we said. And I do mean what we said at all. And sometimes we would spit out our name by accident, and stuff like that. And he just was sitting there apparently with a little piece of paper writing all this shit down.
Just writing everything down,
And-
all the clues. These fucking
and-
detective Pikachus out there. These ponies are crazy. Wilding out. We had Tim Dog, and he said he had the same thing happen. That they were like, we're outside your house or some shit
dude,
like that.
I guarantee you, Tim Dog's probably got like patrols that go by his house.
Jesus.
Yo.
They've got drones and shit flying overhead. Biden's ordering them around and shit.
Did you play along with me? You should have said, "Okay, well, yeah, I'll take all this information down. He's due a big bonus. Thanks for reporting all that."
Yeah, it just, man,
Thanks for saying that, because if it ever
crazy.
happens to us, I'm gonna do it.
It's weird to me that people take this stuff this seriously. That's the bad part.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like it's a
they
video
do,
game,
bro.
dude. I did not bang your sister. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Which they probably
They're
wouldn't have
like,
taken
"Might as well
offense to.
have."
But, oh my God,
Might
you
as well
promoted
have.
Might as
Oh
well
my God.
have. Holy shit. They may have taken that a little lighter than you talking shit about PlayStation and their ponyhood.
Listen, but we found out that it's about everything and anything.
Mhm.
We made a mention about the character, the way it looks from Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
Right. And
Stellar Yams?
there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
discourse out there that that they put this body and then they show the face, and the face looks like to some people looks like it's a very young person who doesn't necessarily look of age. And it's kind of, some people are like, what's going on? And bro, do they come out and
They went
defend it? And they
wild.
defend it by saying, this is the person that they took the body scan of, and they put this picture of her in like this bikini, and it's like, bro, like this is the problem with you dudes. You're obsessed with it, man. Like, come
Well,
on.
you got to think
then
about it,
didn't
dude.
they-
You got
Go ahead.
J-Tech. What was J-Tech known for? Sending pics
Oh,
to underage girls, right?
mhm.
Oh my
People
God.
defended this guy. I mean, defended
This
him.
is crazy.
And
This is crazy.
what's the most used thing on PS5 is
Pornhub.
So I mean,
Pornhub
come on,
indeed.
dude. I had 2 and 2. I get 4. I don't know about y'all. So they're into porn. You've got a chick running around half naked. Of course they like it, right? I mean, when you
Dude, they
can't get it in
defend
the
it to their
real
death,
world,
bro.
get it in the virtual.
Yeah, yo. I mean, that's the sad part of it, but it is what it is. It's just these people. You find all type of creeps out here. It's
Yeah, they
wild.
did a side by side with the character from Fable. Like, remember you saw that one, right? Like to show how
They were like, this is what
manly.
PlayStation dudes are. PlayStation guys are into these hot chicks when they show like the Stellar Blade, the young girl face and shit. And then they showed the Fable girl who looks, less childish. And they were like,
Well,
"This is
she's
what we're
working
into.
hard,
This is what
man. She's
they're
like an
into."
old Russian mother, She's out working in the fields and all
There
that
you
stuff.
go. She ain't taking no shit from nobody.
Yeah, she don't have an OnlyFans,
The Stellar Blade chick looks like she does like 5,000 flips or whatever, but I don't know how she keeps all this weight on her. Apparently, all the thickness that she has, all this flips and shit that she be doing. I don't know what gymnasts you be seeing doing all this crazy shit, but all right, enough with these clowns. They're I can't even fuck with them. Let me get to some of these homies that are here. Thank you so much. The homie Rocket Scientist.
What's up, baby?
Thank you, my brother, for being here. And thank you so much for that Canadian 5. Says Friday.
Yes.
Chicken shawarma, cherry coke, and the homies.
Let's go.
Peeps and happy weekend gaming to all. Also, Gotham Knights is fun. Wilmy.
I like
dash BG3 shot at CMoney. Oh man, it's
Thank you
okay.
for rocking with
Well,
us.
you
baby.
aren't the
Yeah,
only
thank you.
person that's happened to, so
It's all good. I'm used to it, man. This BG3 thing will always haunt me.
It will. It will. He doesn't like magic anymore, you guys.
No, I used to like magicians. Never again.
I used to love
Just
that
rub
shit.
it.
I'm like, yo,
Just
what do I
rub
sit
it.
through this crap? So that's
Just
a win for
touch
me.
it.
I don't have to deal with it
Oh my
anymore.
God. Mm-mm.
just touch it.
I'm
Come
happy.
on, touch it, touch it, touch it.
No, thank you, Magic Stick Man. I will not. But thank you for the offer. All right, leave me alone.
Oh my God.
And then we're gonna shout out the homie Adidas 20.
What's up, baby?
Thank you, my brother, for being here.
Birthday
And
boy.
thank you for that $10 super
Still
chat.
his birthday to me until my birthday pops up.
That's right. February 8th. Soon enough, baby girl.
Let's
He
go.
says, send the ponies to me. The Grand Canyon is a mile deep. Are you still
Oh,
in Vegas?
damn. You still there rocking out? The
He is
homie.
not messing around.
He is not.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, nobody parties like Adidas.
For real. And then we have another super chat that was actually second, but I skipped him because he's going to lead into what we're going to mention first.
Let's go.
Our homie G Meyer says, first of all, thank you, brother, for being here. And thank you so much for that
baby.
$5 super chat. Says, what up, fam? Looking forward to a great show. Also, RIP to the OG Carl Weathers. Yes, we do want to go ahead and, give our respects to the homie Carl Weathers. He's done a lot of big things. Being Apollo and Rocky was a huge thing. He was in Action Jackson. He's been in Mandalorian. I'm sure there's countless other. I don't know the names of all the things he's been in, but I know he's been doing
There's
this for a while.
tons.
He's been in a lot of things. Yeah, so many. But RIP to the homie Carl Weathers. You know, another good one gone. But
Life is beautiful. Live every day to the max.
absolutely. All right, guys. Well, you know the drill. We're here. We're gathered here today because there are some ponies to slay. No, I'm just joking. Guys, listen.
Because you're gonna touch it.
You meant that shit, yo. We out here to get these ponies. These damn ponies. They don't stop.
They
Now
don't
just
stop.
imagine
Don't
that's
stop,
That's
man.
J-Tech telling you to touch it now.
Oh no, thanks.
And that weird little
No
voice of
thanks.
his. Touch it. Come on, touch it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I just started
Oh,
drinking
Jesus.
caffeine too, so just wait till
Let him
this
go.
shit kicks
Look at
in.
him. Running wild. Harky's got him back
Harky's
there.
got the ponies. Wilmy just started drinking caffeine. We're in for
Listen,
a
this is
good
going to
night.
be a party.
We're going in for a good night. But yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about a few things today. But listen, I want to talk about this whole thing with the insiders, right? That they got it wrong. The showcase showed that, or that state of play showed that they got it wrong, right? It's not happening, right? But right after the show, like literally the next day or maybe a few hours after, they data mined some more stuff that are some like logos or some type of t-shirt looking logos or whatever that are supposedly for Nintendo and PlayStation, which again to the media and to the ponies confirms high five
Yet
us
again, see.
coming to PlayStation and to Nintendo. Now, the people there's somebody who I guess the person who they took that from came out after that and said, "Guys, that wasn't even I just found that." Like that was like this is not me, this is not real. I just found it on Tumblr. Like this is nothing. Put that out there. But again, they came back and Tom Warren, being the detective that he is, says, "No, those things are real." He's going in there. Now, I want to hear what you guys think about this because somebody mentioned on Twitter and it made a lot of sense to me. So I want to kind of bring it out to you guys. That game was supposedly in development since 2017. Okay. And he put out there, and it made sense to me, but I want to see what you guys think. That of course you're going to see things related to Nintendo and PlayStation if you data mine because they were making a multi-platform game. It's been documented that it was going to be multi-platform before Xbox obviously bought Bethesda. So finding these things like when you go data mine is not going to be any type of proof that something's happening now. It's just proof that at some point in time there was something happening. Do you guys think that makes sense? Do you think that this is mostly from probably leftover stuff that people are finding and trying to, extrapolate it and say, well, now it's going to be it's definitely coming into PlayStation, Nintendo. Even though it seems like Xbox keeps doubling down on the idea of exclusives, and they mentioned it just recently, right before the state of play, talking about the exclusives. Um, what do you guys think about this scenario? And what do you think about the guy saying that, it's an old game from 2017 that was being made? That's why you're seeing these remnants of PlayStation and Nintendo. Let's talk about Wilmy, the guy who's never been here before. Wilmy,
Let's
start
go.
us off, brother. What do you think about
I
this
could see
scenario?
that. I could see it being that way. I mean, if it was in production for that many years, of course, it makes sense. But the weird part is, if Xbox games suck so bad, why do they want them so bad? That's the question
That's the
I
big
keep
question.
asking myself. I mean, I saw everybody dogging Hi-Fi Rush. Why do you care then? And why would you care about Sea of Thieves? But it's just something, dude. And that is a good possibility. They found old assets. So I wouldn't put much more into it, to be honest.
I
That's
mean,
probably exactly what
especially
happened.
with Bethesda specifically, we know that he sat there and said it. This is where Phil's famous quote that we use for everything now, right? Where he said this was about bringing exclusive games to Xbox and to places where Game Pass is there, right? So it's bringing games to Xbox players through Game Pass. Wherever they are, that's where Game Pass can be. Sure, if you have Game Pass somewhere else, that's where you're going to play it. But it's for Xbox players. It's about exclusive games. But they still have this like desire. And it's like I get it, right? When you look at their slate, yeah, they're hungry, right? They want something to eat, right?
Anything.
I get it, but it's like, yo, I just see like the media backing it up so hard. And I don't know, I feel like it makes sense to me that this is old assets that existed when they were like let's call a spade a spade. Most likely this game was being made with PlayStation as the lead console when it was being made,
And it's
right?
actually the game is very fitting for Nintendo. I said it right from like when I saw it. I feel like, it would do well on freaking Nintendo. But we also know that Phil didn't buy this shit to put these games on Nintendo or PlayStation. And so I think that they hear something, that whatever does not fit their narrative, they can't hear.
Yes.
They just, you can't get through. And so I just feel like it's always going to be the same freaking bullshit. Anything that they can find to grab onto and make a big deal out of and go ahead and make them look like the morons that they are on a freaking daily, then they will go ahead and do that. They have no freaking shame.
I
mean,
agree.
I would be freaking embarrassed after being proved wrong over and over again to go ahead and come out here and triple, quadruple down on the same bullshit.
Especially when people like especially like all right, for instance, the CFD thing, right? Right before going live on the state of play, it's kept coming out. Everybody's talking about, oh, CFDs is gonna be at the show, CFD is gonna be at the show. And then it's like it wasn't at the show, right? So they were so certain, 100%, like, oh, it's gonna be at the show, and then it wasn't. It's like, why do we gotta keep doing this? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to keep talking about this shit when we know that it hasn't been there? And they make such a big deal and they force people like us to sit here and talk about this shit because so many other people are claiming this shit to be gospel. So we have to come out here and be like, what are you talking about, bro? Every piece of evidence that we have, and we've made videos on this. Like, you don't have to go digging through podcasts that we've made. Go look at our videos. They're in there where we put the receipts all together for you.
The receipts that matter, see, the ones that come from freaking Xbox, right? We've heard this
Exactly.
from Phil. We understand the definition of competition, and there's no sharing in there.
Yeah. The homie freaking Satya said, clear as fucking day. Yes, we don't want to do exclusives. The reason we do exclusives is because the competition does exclusives. So
Have they stopped
fucking
that,
explain to me. No, they
Oh,
have not
okay,
stopped
okay.
making exclusives. So why
Didn't think so.
are we talking about this shit still? It makes no sense. But before we hop over, we're gonna get fuzzy on this. Let me get the homie Cypher Type 1.
What's up, baby?
Thank you, my brother, for being here. Appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for that $10 super chat. Says, what's good people? Oh, no. What's good? Good people.
Let's go.
It has been proven time and time again that whenever PlayStation has a piss poor shit showing, like clockwork, here comes the random rumor about Xbox to distract and promote FUD. Fucking facts, Cypher. 100%. It is like clockwork, bro. Like, as soon as something happens and they shit the bed, like, that was such a bad show, bro. And it's somehow they try
Do you
to
think it's
now
on
we're
purpose?
talking
Like,
about this again.
do you think Xbox does that on purpose? Do you think it is a
Does
good
what?
way to totally take
Sometimes I do
away,
wonder.
right? Like, this is supposed to be Sony's week, isn't it? What are we talking about?
It is.
True.
Just saying.
Oh, does
I
Xbox
like the way he's thinking like a
And
like
see,
a real
the thing
killer
is
over
too,
here. You know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
a lot of people, if you're noticing another trend coming on too, I've been in this community long enough. I've watched a lot of people flip flop back and forth. I'm not going to name any names, and Hardgeek knows a few I'm talking about because he's sitting there smiling. I think you're going to see a few people flip in the next couple of months, and they're already starting. I've noticed a few today, but it's always the same ones. And now, they were making Xbox videos last week, but now this week they're all talking trash about Xbox. I saw one this morning. I could not help but to laugh, and I really wanted to say something to the guy, but I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it. Plus I was working, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting into it with the dude. But he's like, you're ruining your brand. You're killing your console. You're doing this, you're doing that. I'm like, oh my God, dude, get a fucking life. Go out, get laid, find something to make you happy. You're taking this way too seriously. But I saw maybe 12 people today with these type of posts. So it'll be interesting within the next 4 weeks. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not as simple as it is to us to go ahead and get laid. So we can just throw that out there. All right. Because the pony's feelings will get hurt.
Well, that's why they're going for the chick in the Stellar game.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. 100%. All right, Fuzzy. What do you think about these clowns?
All right.
And their bullshit.
Well, the funny thing is, just because it seems like a rumor that won't die, I've been curious and I downloaded Hex Edit, and unfortunately, I don't have the Steam version of Hi-Fi Rush. I just own the Microsoft or Windows version because of Xbox, and I can't find the same folder that they're referring to. Now, I'm fairly new at this. Like I used to, edit games way back when just for fun, as far as 3D models and like some of the PNGs for car racing and things like that, or even Grand Theft Auto 3 way back in the day. But I'm going to try to see if I can find for myself, because it's weird that somebody would scan for that and then it wasn't made to be a big to do. Like if you found it on Tumblr, it's not like, last time I checked, Tumblr really isn't a thing now in comparison to let's say 5 or 10 years ago. So I'm assuming somebody may have done this early on in the release. And then this guy just happens to stumble across these pictures. But, oh, by the way, he was, he just found it on Tumblr. That's his post is blowing up. So it's all like this weird stuff, kind of like what Wilmy was saying. It's like without fail, stuff comes up just after Xbox has good news. Like before, PlayStation used to be good at this. If Xbox had good news, oh, this exclusive is coming or this game is coming out, PlayStation would always come by and say, God of War sold 10 million copies. Okay. Or we're at 100 million PS4s or something like that. Like PlayStation would always try to, it seemed, overshadow Xbox in the news category. But now, since they've been kind of silent since their first party are back at the drawing board and they're canceling a lot of the, games as a service that they were making. And I don't know, factions just completely disappeared from the face of the earth type of deal. They're not good at tooting their own horn like they used to. Like, sure, they had the thing about the 50 million.
Well, they toot their own horn. We know that. We know that they toot that thing 24/7.
That chat is so wrong. Quick time event.
Tune in and Twitter.
Yeah.
Tune in and Twitter.
Just to coincide with what you said, Fuzzy.
Rainbow
says pony addiction to Pornhub sure gives a new meaning to QuickTime event.
Well, when you're talking about tooting their own horn, I was going to ask for some guidance because, if I could do that myself, I'd save myself about 120 grand last year.
Fuzzy, sorry for sidetracking you, man.
Fuzzy, you've been on my show many times, dude. You know how it goes.
But it's always been a thing that they used to be able to squash Xbox news with their own news story kind of thing. But now, since PlayStation's been quiet, it seems like the gaming media is filling in the blanks for them and trying to do that for them. Yeah, I understand. Some people are like, well, Xbox higher ups are quiet. Well, they've already stated what they've stated in the past. They don't need to every time answer something, especially kind of like what you said. Maybe they're letting this story go on so it winds up being the ultimate troll. Because the big thing I look at it from this is, if you were going to put Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush on PlayStation, there were 2 dates that passed that it didn't happen. One was the 1 year anniversary, at least, for Hi-Fi Rush, the anniversary for Sea of Thieves, I think, was like a couple of months ago, or like the end of December or something like that, when they did the big update where now they have the PvE, sales where you don't have to worry about people stealing your loot or knocking you in the head or blowing up your ship kind of stuff. That would have been the perfect time to announce it's coming to PlayStation if that was the case. The 1 year anniversary for Hi-Fi Rush that just passed a couple of days ago would have been the perfect time to announce it, or during the state of play, and none of that happened. So if they were going to do it, when is a good time? Those seem like what would be the best times to do it, but it hasn't happened. So it just makes me wonder. It's almost like a post that Wilmy made a while ago. It's like, I wonder what those people that always said the end of the world was coming, what are they doing right now? It's like, if they keep on making these posts that, oh, Xbox is going third party, they're going out of business, and they keep on making them, I guess maybe at some point, 100 years down the road, they might be right, or whatever the case may be. But you would think at some point they would realize, maybe I should just get back to either play my PlayStation games or just buy an Xbox and call it done.
It's that simple, isn't it, Fuzzy? It seems like very simplistic, and they don't seem to understand it. And I love the fact that you brought up that they can't come out here and shut down these rumors every freaking single time. And I get it. The ponies want to find, again, any type of hope, but the freaking bots to go out there and spread this shit, like, you don't need to be burped. You don't need a bottle. Sit your ass down and remember what you were told.
No, they just want to put their Series X in the trash can, clean trash bag with bottles at the bottom kind of thing. I don't know. It just feels weird. I mean, if you're upset to the point where you're throwing your console out, more power to you. If you can throw $500 in the trash like that and move on, I don't know where you're going to go to. Are you going to go to the sworn enemy?
That motherfucker placed that shit gently in there.
I know.
Took his picture.
It was
like, I throw it in the trash. Well, hold on 1 second. We got the man, Elite Gaming Guru.
What's up, baby? Welcome back.
Is he frozen?
No,
he's
just
playing.
He's just playing.
He's messing with
He's
us.
just playing.
He's brought the bottle. Let's go. This is not rum, but bottoms up, baby.
Caribbean rum. Let's go.
Well, Elite, thank you so much for coming, man. I know we had you on the last show, but it was technical difficulties. I think we're good now. Looks like it. Feel confident.
Looks like I'm running better now. We've got a different camera. I've got a spotlight in my eyes there, but let's go.
Let's go. Yes.
What's the topic? Hello, everyone. It's the same crowd.
Oh, well, we're talking about the people who are obsessed with the idea that Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves and all this stuff is coming. But Fuzzy, you were finishing up, or you were saying your last bars on it.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing. But I kind of think that this is an ongoing trend that the gaming media really wants to kill any momentum that Xbox has, and they're going to try anything possible to kind of convince people that, oh yeah, they're going third party. Because if they do that before Call of Duty hits the console or hits Game Pass, it might persuade the casuals not to pick up the Xbox and just hold on to whatever console they have currently. So it's weird. I don't like believing in conspiracy theories, but it just feels like the gaming media is now going to push this narrative so that way when Call of Duty is in Game Pass day and date, they don't have to worry about their PlayStation kind of becoming obsolete, pretty quick. So we'll see.
We will see indeed. I will say that technically speaking, once PlayStation becomes an app, then Microsoft will be third party, because then it'll be going everywhere, right? They're the only console in town that matters, right? I just listen. I feel it. I feel it's coming. Let's get the homie Big Boy Mike.
What's up, baby?
In the building. Thank you, my brother, for being here, and thank you so much for that $5
Thank
super
you.
chat. Says ponies don't need to get laid, guys. They have their dual sense, and it only costs the men $69.99. 69 in quotes. Oh, with that dual sense. Yo, never, if you ever go to a pony's house, never touch their dual sense.
No, never.
You don't know.
Don't go near that shit.
Has been penetrated by the controller.
Oh my
God. Listen, I would not advise it.
You get it where you can get it, right?
Boy.
So
Oh my god.
Woo!
The homie Cypher
Stick
type
game
What's
was.
up, baby?
Thank you. Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Says at Big Boy
Oh,
Night,
wow.
Mike.
Oh my
Noise.
Say it again,
Damn.
baby.
Damn self-soothing pony pickle popper puffers. God damn. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. That was hilarious.
Oh, these damn ponies.
Oh, shout out to the homie Rain
Let's
Bolt
go. Thank you,
Thank
baby.
you, my brother.
Welcome.
for becoming the newest member of On
Thank
Point.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Do me a favor, everybody. Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emojis in the chat. Welcome the homie to the fam. Thank you so much, my brother. We appreciate you. Thank you, my man. Fucking get off the pickle.
Get off the
homie-
damn pickle.
Fuck
No.
you. Hashtag
No.
delete elite. Hashtag
Fuck
delete
you.
elite. Hashtag delete elite. I think that's what happened to you last
Fuck.
stream, bro.
Yeah.
He hashtag deleted
Oh
your
my
ass.
God.
Oh
Yes,
my god.
he
they're
just did that
wild.
the last podcast was on.
Yeah. Look at your
Piece of shit.
your image became blurrier right now. You see, as soon as he said that, it's like he infiltrated you. Is that like a console
Yeah,
hack?
he's
I
on
don't know what
point.
I
happened.
think so.
Like Back to the Future
Oh
when he's
my
got that
God.
picture.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god. And then shout out to the homie Infurious One. Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you for that $5 super chat.
Thank you,
Says
baby.
the Xbox games to PlayStation is pony anti-buy Xbox propaganda. Oh, okay. This Xbox games to PlayStation is pony anti-buy Xbox propaganda. Don't buy Xbox. Their games are going to PlayStation. The old bait and switch game. You ain't lying,
No.
Infurious One. That's what they're doing. Listen, this is the problem, right? Think about this for a second. They don't have shit to play right now, right? The only thing they have are these third parties who are willing to make these deals with Sony at a cheap price because we know that's all Sony can afford
Mhm.
because of the potential of their user base. But imagine their scenario when Xbox has more consoles. When people go into next gen and not want to buy a PlayStation, but instead they want to buy an Xbox because that's where the dollars makes more sense for them. What are the places? What third party is going to be like, man, we didn't even want to give you our game to begin with, let alone now that Xbox has more consoles. You know what I'm saying? So they're desperate to make sure that never happens. Like that's their hopes and dreams in life. But I think Xbox has a plan that is going to change the situation. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, thank you for that, my brother. Appreciate you. And thank you so much to everybody rocking in the building.
Yes.
I see the homie Mav popping up. Was good, homie. All right. Oh man. Wait.
It's
Can't
me.
leave out the homie J Mac.
Woo! Let's
So,
go,
brother,
J Mac.
thank you
What is
so
up,
much
baby?
for being here. And thank you so
love.
much for being a member for 1 month, fam.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, love.
He says, that's the order Sony set down because once Call of Duty hits Game Pass, it's game, set, match. Hashtag gray beers. Hashtag weed 'em boys. Facts.
I love it. We
Facts, fam.
them boys, baby.
Facts. I'm telling you, they know it's Call it. I'm gonna say they do understand. They do understand. That's why they're panicking right now. Right. I was gonna say they don't understand what's gonna happen, but they do. They're very aware of what's happening and they're afraid right now. These ponies are so scared, and that's why they live their lives believing the lies, believing the bullshit. It's just hoping and dreaming on a constant basis that they can somehow slow down Xbox from the inevitable. Their growth is going to be insane. Call of Duty drops into Game Pass day one. The marketing of that is crazy. We already see, I don't know if you guys saw, but Xbox, like we talked about, they're not slipping on Power World. You see the new ad that they got out with the Power World background. The Xbox is there. It's pretty legit.
I think what you're trying to say is that PlayStation's death is inevitable. Ponies, listen, I'm sorry to tell you, it's
Damn.
fucking dead.
As I was
Stop
saying
holding
on-
on. You're trying to
saying on
slow
your
down the
podcast.
process, and the more it hurts. Let it
State of
go.
decay. State
Even
of
Rose
decay.
knew to let go of Jack's hand in the Titanic. She was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Do the same.
Oh my god. Let me show it. Just because I feel like it's sexy. I think they did a great job with it. So let me just show it very quickly so we all know what we're
Ooh,
talking
you
about.
have
But
to
you see it right
pick.
there? Come on, man.
Let's
Oh, I didn't put
go.
it up. I
You
just
don't
did
have
that
it
was an
up. I
illusion.
see
I
it
know,
though.
but I see it here. Boom. See that? They're not messing
Yo,
around. They are
that's
not messing
fire.
around.
That's freaking fire.
Xbox Series
Man,
X and
nice.
S over there on the corner.
Getting that foot in the door.
See?
They're gonna buy them.
They're doing it. They're doing
It's
it.
kind of
See
interesting,
it?
right, pals? Dude, bro.
Oh my
It'd be
god.
hilarious if they bought them.
No, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, they're not dropping the ball. And
not,
this is just going to
dude.
be imagine that same image now, but instead of Pal World, it's Call of Duty in
Yeah.
Game Pass day one. That shit is gonna be in mother effing sane. But let me get a couple more of these super chats before we hop on to the next homie. Big boy Mike,
Let's
back
go.
to back.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. It says, by the way, that state of play was an L. 10 PS dominance is over. L10? An L10. Oh, L out of 10. God damn. Sorry, bro. The brain. You know what I'm saying?
You got
I
there.
had to get
You
there.
got there.
All right. I got there. It was an L out of
Listen.
10. The PlayStation dominance is over.
It is over. And they don't want to let go of that idea. You don't matter anymore.
Facts. Game Shark, the homie.
Woo!
Thank you for being here. And thank you so much
Thank you,
for that
baby.
$5 super chat. He says Boom's headline for his show said confirmed. Was this not true? Please help. Hashtag Bloodbath 2024. Hashtag I
It was
hate them.
confirmed? Question mark? Question mark. So
yes.
read the
And the
whole
confirmed
title.
part was it was confirmed that they found those images from PlayStation and Nintendo. But it has not been confirmed. No, that it's coming.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely
it's
not.
happening. But the images have been confirmed to be real. But you ain't lying. Hashtag bloodbath, baby.
Not even, man.
This bloodbath started long ago. It's just like, all right, show us what you got. Show us what you got. But if you've been paying attention, you knew it was coming.
What is this? 4 out of 4 shit shows for PlayStation? Or is it 3? It was 2 show, 3 show.
Talk
So this is
about
4.
back to back to back, baby.
Yo, back to back garbage. And I don't know how
trash.
they keep finding a way to self-soothe. It's
Mhm.
insane. Like they just keep
Yeah,
trying
just when you
to find a way.
think that they have nothing else to say, they come right the fuck back. And you just got to knock a bitch out. You know what I mean? Because I was like, listen, I know the ponies are going to be down. There's nothing else to say. They didn't get the Xbox games. Ponies are down bad. And I was like, you know what? This might come out every once in a while. Maybe we'll go back to be nice to your local pony, but fuck them ponies.
Yeah.
They ain't shit.
Oh my
And we're out
God.
here doing the same crazy ass, insane bullshit that they always do. So they deserve to get slapped up on a motherfucking daily. Get it?
Dark Doodle has been released.
Oh, my bad. I've blacked out a little bit. These fucking ponies talk so much shit. Sit your ass down. You got nothing else to talk about. You are not necessary. You are not needed. Like Jim Ryan said, you are not enough and you do not matter. Take several seats. Take a nap. And as Wilmer said, listen, sometimes some of them just got to go.
Oh, shit.
She's gone.
Just saying.
Oh, my God.
Didn't drop the mic.
Oh. And with that, Elite.
Yes. Welcome.
Thanks again for being here, brother. What's your take on the whole Hi-Fi Rush? They found some crap and they're begging for them and they're hoping that freaking Hi-Fi, Sea of Thieves, all that fun stuff.
I think it's a bit of a reach because there was an advert and it was in red and one was in blue. I think it's a bit of a reach, isn't it? Just I don't know if it means it associates with those consoles. I think that's a bit of a reach, but Hi-Fi Rush. I don't think you should go PlayStation. I don't think it's been out a year. It wouldn't bother me too much if it went to Switch. Because I'm sure they'll probably send stuff our way, and they have sent some games our way. I remember what's that game called? It's like a parkour game. You go around killing people. I can't remember what it's called now. My friend Bob, is it?
The zombie one?
No, it's only it's sort of side scroller. It's almost like John Wick, but it's side scroller.
My friend Pedro?
Yeah, Pedro. Yeah.
Pedro.
Pedro.
What the hell was that? See,
I got there, man. You know, I got
you did.
Yeah, I remember that being on Switch, and that come to Xbox pretty soonish. And I think it took longer to go to PlayStation. But Switch, Hi-Fi Rush going to Switch, it wouldn't be too much. It's been out a year, went to Switch, but PlayStation, I think they should try to keep these games off PlayStation unless they're gas games, and then that wouldn't bother me too much. Especially Sea of Thieves. Would we really be bothered if Sea of Thieves, after 6 years, went to PlayStation and just got in more revenue? Because the only way I see games that are that old going to PlayStation, they'll generate more revenue, which means we'd get even more first-party games going to Game Pass, more studios, and then we'll just see more output from it, which then will generate better, bigger AAA games, which then wouldn't go to PlayStation. They were just like exclusive to Xbox. But the thing I'd look forward to, what I think would be the best bet for Xbox to do, would be to make this money, keep generating this money. So next generation, they can just completely undercut PlayStation. That'd be my plan. Just keep this money coming in. Next gen consoles that come out, PlayStation brings out the PlayStation 6 for $500, and then Xbox comes out with their console for $200, but matches it on power, and just completely undermines PlayStation because all this revenue coming in. That's what I would do. Just the box would be almost minuscule compared to the software you'd sell on it. It's money generated from it. So that would be my plan. But
I mean,
yeah, but
this is a
Halo
thing.
games like that, which they're sort of begging for, they most definitely will not go to PlayStation. That's just ridiculous.
I think the problem with that is just where do you draw the line, right? At what point do you say, okay, these games go, these games don't? And that's the issue, because as soon as it's like a ship on the water, right? As soon as they make a hole, like, you're going down slowly, and it's hard to plug that shit when you're still in the water. You know what I'm saying? And if it's like, I just don't like the idea of them saying, okay, it's been long enough, these are going to go over here, because the idea becomes the same, right? Well, okay, so after a while, they'll probably bring these other games, is what they're telling me when that happens, right? And then every time you got a new game announcement, it's always, oh, well, the game's probably going to come to PlayStation, so we'll wait, right? We have all these other games, we'll just wait, right? And like, Xbox doesn't want to do that when they finally have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the moment. Like, they didn't put their games elsewhere when they were dying, right? When they didn't have shit going on, they did not put their games elsewhere. Sea of Thieves came out in a time where, if they were going to put it elsewhere, that's when they should have done it.
That was the time to do it. And I hate that the question comes up of like Xbox doing this shit. Where's the question about PlayStation? Where they are now, they should be the ones in question. When are you going third party? Hey, how about this? How about you put your damn games, your fucking Spider Cube on Xbox, on Nintendo? See if Nintendo can run that garbage. They probably don't even want it. Right? How about we ask PlayStation, what are you going to do? What is your fucking game plan? When are you going to put these games out there so that you can make some money and potentially fund something else? Because we know you're broke as hell. Yeah. They don't have the money.
They don't.
So the question should be, hey, PlayStation, what are you going to do? Nobody's asking the shit. Everybody's back to Xbox every freaking time. Here we go again. Same old bull crap. And not just the ponies, not just the media. Here comes the bots. Hey, oh my God, they're doing it again. They're not doing it. Shit.
Yeah.
My bad.
I
Go
was-
ahead, Elite.
put my hand up.
Go ahead. Yes. It's just frustrating. The bullshit is real.
I think Xbox are doing this to generate just so much money that they completely just play out Sony. They just completely swamp them because when at the end of the day, if on PlayStation all the games are playing Xbox games, you're going to be thinking to yourself, why am I buying a PlayStation? Why not just, instead of buying these games on PlayStation, why not just buy an Xbox and play them on Game Pass? You know what I mean? There'll be a
Because
point
then
where
you have the
just
best of
everything
both,
will be
best of both
Xbox.
worlds.
They don't want an Xbox.
But you don't have the
they
PlayStation
hate
games,
the
but-
freaking console.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
problem.
You'd be playing Xbox games on PlayStation. You wouldn't be playing PlayStation games on PlayStation because they won't have any. Because Xbox
Oh.
basically
Well, that's true.
just
I mean,
dominated
that's true,
everything.
if that was the case.
So,
I-
Tyler?
But my case,
right, let me-
the other, I
let me
think the
get
other the
this-
switch side of this that no one's thinking about either is whether. Oh, go on, yeah, get to do a super chat.
I didn't know, but let me just get it real quick. The homie Dan Lazaro, thank you for being
What's
here,
up,
brother.
baby?
Thank you for a $5 super chat. It says, does Doodle have a sister? I need some violence in my life.
Oh, she crazy as hell.
Yeah, she's crazier. So,
Alright.
that's
She's not calm like I am. Mm-mm.
Wow.
oh my god.
Oh, wow.
The homie Cypher Type 1.
What's up, baby? Thank you.
Thank you, my brother, for being here. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Says PlayStation just had a state of money hats, but it quote unquote makes sense for Xbox to put their games there.
Mm.
Never underestimate the predictability of stupidity.
That is true.
Facts. I mean,
No,
that's
I
really the
think
case,
the-
though, right?
the-
Like,
the-
go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a major point here that no one's sort of taken into account is, would Sony want to put Xbox games on their platform? I don't think they would. I think there's a lot of talk saying Xbox games are going to PlayStation. I don't think it would be like I hate food narratives, but I'm going to have to do one here. It'd be like Burger King saying we're going to put our burgers in McDonald's. Do you think McDonald's would be okay selling Burger King burgers? They just wouldn't, would they? They'd be like, why are we pushing your product for you? Why are we selling your product?
The only problem is that they already do it, though, right?
Yeah.
Like they already
Well, they don't sell Burger
have
King
Call
burgers,
of Duty. They already have
McDonald's.
Minecraft, right?
But they were on those platforms before Xbox
Before,
owned
yeah.
them, though, didn't they? So but
Well,
people do keep going.
yeah, I mean-
Minecraft on there, and you can't
I mean,
remove Minecraft off a platform when it's been on there several years. That would be almost sort of theft, wouldn't it? If you just deleted Minecraft of everyone that's purchased it off their platform, that would be theft. Where's my Minecraft going?
yeah, but I mean, that's but that's the problem, right? That's the narrative that needs to be
Yeah.
kept, right?
Yeah.
Minecraft is there because it was already there. Call of Duty's
and
there
it makes them
because
billions.
it was already there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, the
Makes
Fallout
them billions,
76 is
yeah.
there because it was already
Mm.
there, right? Elder Scrolls already there, right? So that's the narrative that is okay having. So it makes sense. Like, of course, these Xbox games are there because they were already there. The problem comes in when you take the games that were not there already and start saying, okay, we're going to do that, right? Obviously, we had the second party deals or whatever do that, right? Like
Yeah.
your Cuphead and, what was the last one? The night, what the hell is the name of that multiple choice game? As Dust Falls.
Yes. Oh my God, that game was fire.
Yeah, which was dope, right? But again, that went over there, right? Because those weren't Xbox games particular, right? So yes, they had exclusive on it, they had a deal with them, and yeah, Xbox is not greedy, and they know that for those games, the developer would benefit from putting their games elsewhere after because they don't own that studio. They still have to fund themselves after that game came out, right? So, Phil's a good guy. I get that, no problem. Right. But if it's in-house and Microsoft is funding that studio, I don't want to see a motherfucking game anywhere other than Xbox.
I agree with you, bro.
They have too much money to play the card of needing money to spend more money. They have all the money. They have all the money. So there's no
we want all the games. We just as greedy.
Exactly. Now, Hargy, we're about to get
I'll
to it
get
real
those
quick.
points.
Just got to get the homie Raheem Lincoln,
up,
Kentucky Fried
baby?
Pony, baby.
Let's
Thank
go.
you so much, brother. Thank you for that $2 super chat. But he wanted to get on the food puns too. Kentucky Fried Pony. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right, Hargeet, drop the
I
bars.
get those
Let us
points
know.
about exclusivity. I understand all that argument, but I think Xbox is there for the long game. I think they're being underestimated massively, and I think they're just going to keep feeding that string along, and then the PlayStation fans are going to keep taking it. But Xbox is waiting for that mind share to switch to Xbox. On games like COD, that's why it's multiplayer. I think once people realise that why they buy a PlayStation to play COD, and that mind share switches to Xbox, I reckon they will, just like these other games, once that mind share of all the games and all the best games are Xbox games, people will start shifting over, thinking, why am I buying a PlayStation? And I think once that mind share shifts, I think Xbox will just go ding and just cut them off and go bye. And let it
See, but
slowly just sink.
the problem with the Call of Duty example is that, right, if Game Pass didn't exist, nobody would give a shit about the fact that Microsoft owns Call of Duty, right? Because the fact that it's already there, if they own an Xbox and they have to pay $70 to buy Call of Duty, then they might as well just keep their PlayStation and spend $70 and buy Call of Duty, right? The allure, the part that's going to be the trap that's going to get them over is when they keep looking at all the games they love and they want to play, and they keep seeing that on Xbox those games are going into Game Pass. If they're when I'm talking about the multi-plat games, right? The games that are in both places, that's what's going to eventually make them say, well, why am I here if that's the game I mostly play and I can get it in the subscription with hundreds of other games, right? Like, this doesn't make any sense. That is, I think, is the allure. As soon as you start making it where they can just have the games, some people are just gonna be like, I'm only gonna play a few games a year, so I don't need the
Yeah,
Game
you done
Pass.
fucked up.
And if I want to play Hi-Fi Rush, it'll cost me $40 or whatever the game is, and I'm done. Right? I played it, and I don't need another game. Right? All right, Hargeet, go ahead, brother.
So, all right.
Get
So
into it.
first, the stuff that they got out of data mining, right? This game was
Yes.
ready in 2020. Apparently, it didn't get pushed out until afterwards. It was kind of held back, and eventually released in 2023. Right? That's at least what we got from rumors. The game was ready a while ago, and then the acquisition talks started happening, and then they sort of just said, right, hold on to this, and we'll get to it. Right? At that time, of course, it was intended to come out everywhere, right? So even if that art was there, right, that was intended to be multi-platform, once it was bought, that whole thing could have changed, right? So that stuff is going to still be there. They probably didn't go back and say, well, let's delete that stuff. Just make sure that, like, oh, we don't have any time. Like, whatever. It's in the game build, whatever. It's there. We're not showcasing it anywhere, so who cares, right? Okay. The problem I have is there's too much smoke here. And, you know, when people who have like insider knowledge, who usually talk to people inside Microsoft, are saying this is going to happen, you need to be worried, but this is going to happen, then you have to just start thinking maybe it is going to happen. And that's the part that gets annoying, right?
Or at least there's talks about it happening.
Yeah. Now here's the fun part, right? Like I was saying, what if this really is, there's two potentials. One, maybe Xbox is trying to find the leaker. And they're like, hey, let's plant some information here. And let's see if it gets out. Right. That's one path, right? The other one could be, hey, Sony's putting out a showcase. What can we do to destroy that narrative?
Yeah.
Facts.
Right. And look,
Facts.
this is what they've been doing this generation, right? Like 90% of the news cycle is always Xbox. It doesn't matter if Nintendo does something cool. It doesn't matter if PlayStation does something cool or bad. It's always Xbox. That could be by design. That they just really want the news cycle to always be about them. Good or bad, it doesn't matter, right? Because no matter what, you're still talking about what? Xbox. So
any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly. In your head, you're always like Xbox. That's what you're thinking about. Xbox. And so eventually you're gonna be like, well maybe I should buy an Xbox. Right? Like, unfortunately, like, this is the kind of thing that does happen. And if you're gonna play chess and not checkers, you would do this. Right? This is how things go. Like, if you're well above the norm on trying to market things, you will create publicity, no matter good or bad. It doesn't matter, because in your head it's going to be there, and you're going to keep thinking that name, that whatever it is, right? That brand. This could just be something they're doing, right? Now, it could be totally true that they're going to go third party. That is also a possibility, that they're going to just take Hi-Fi Rush, put it out there, see if these. Now, the Hi-Fi Rush one, let's say I give it to them because they bought Bethesda. I still think it's bullshit, but let's say I give it to them. The CFD these ones just totally, I don't get it. Because if you're going to say that, then why not Master Chief Collection? Isn't that an old live game? Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, just because it's Halo? Rare was bought before freaking 343 was created. Why would you say that Sea of Thieves shouldn't be exclusive? Isn't Rare like one of their first studios? Like why is that not a like guaranteed exclusive? Well, if that's not guaranteed, then sorry, nothing is guaranteed. Anything and everything is up for selection, and you could totally take the Master Chief Collection and say, why not? Let's put it on PlayStation. Let's put it on Nintendo. Right?
And that's the problem.
It'll just bring people over to Halo, right? Well, no, it's also the freaking thing that made your freaking console what it is. So, but there's the problem, right? If it's all about money, then that's the direction you go. If it's all about your console and the loyalty of your fan base, well, then you can't do this. You just can't, unfortunately, right? Because this is the game you're in. Your console competitors are doing exclusives because that's how you draw customers to your platform. And if you're not going to have that, it's just going to be a detractor. The problem with that going forward is, will people who do not buy your console to begin with in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, will they decide to buy your console if 2 years later all your games are coming to the other console they already bought? Well, no, they're not. They're just not. You have to understand that we, no matter how you cut it, have a standard of living substantially better than the rest of the world. For most people, to even buy a console is a big deal. To buy 2 consoles? Yeah. Okay. So no, if you want to have that kind of thing, you have to have things that are so compelling, they're going to want to come to your platform. So it's got to be something so like right there. We're right there. 2 games played.
Seriously.
Indiana Jones. They're crying. They're crying. They want those games on their PlayStation. We're right there.
Me too.
Yeah,
and we haven't released the rest of the games that are still coming. There's still a lot more to come. It's like, look, just let it cook. Let it cook.
Yeah.
Let that make your platform what it is. Get the mind share. You can start the idea of going third party later. And they will eventually do it. But it makes sense when mobile is like 80% of the market. And console starts to diminish, right? Because people have to have a phone. That's going to happen, right? You're going to get a phone. So mobile is where it's at, whether it's cloud, hybrid cloud, on phone, whatever it is. That's just going to keep going, right? So the console is going to diminish. But at some point right now, you can't say that console is irrelevant. It's just not. And Phil said it. Console matters. Why? We're talking about what? Mobile phones? No. We're talking about Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo. Those matter. That's where the enthusiasm is generated. If you take that away, you create problems for yourself. That's just the way it is. Game Pass sustains itself on the fact that there are enthusiasts wanting to be in the platform, right? And we all subscribe to it. Yes, it's the greatest value, but it also needs somebody to care about it to actually subscribe to it. So if you start taking that away, Game Pass comes down. That's not a good thing for them, right? So you have to make that calculus. Does this make sense? And I could, people say it's overblown. It's just one game. Trust me, it's not one game. This is the dipping the toe. And once you dip the toe and see, hey, that worked. Why don't we just put this one there? We'll put that one there. We'll put that one there. Eventually, everything will go there. That's just what they'll do.
Absolutely.
And that's why.
I agree that's the danger. Yeah, I'll just play devil's advocate. So I'll just say, as a business, and Microsoft want to make money. That's the route they might go with, the objective eventually getting the mind share and then taking basically the PlayStation fan base. Because I mean, if you look now, Microsoft has just gone top of the rankings, and Apple's gone second. And now we're seeing Apple starting to allow more stuff on their platforms, aren't we? They're starting to branch out like Microsoft.
They have to. Well, it's more regulators telling them
we're dropping
down.
Out of luck. We better open up and get more revenue in. So Apple's starting to do that, and that's how I think Microsoft are seeing about taking over PlayStation by sort of opening up just slightly, bringing that revenue more, just to drown them.
Point, right? Is this same thing may happen to console, right? Like Android and iOS are very locked, right? You have the Google Play Store and you have the Apple, Apple Store. And if they're being told you can't do that, you have to allow competition, right? Well, don't the consoles do the same bloody thing? Can you really buy it from anywhere else? Well, you kind of can on physical retail, but physical's going away. You can kind of do a little bit of digital with Steam and Xbox, but not so much on PlayStation. What happens when the regulators start saying, why is there no competition for being able to buy stuff on these consoles? Because that could happen, right? And if that happens, then you could see a freaking Xbox store on PlayStation. Now Game Pass does exist on PlayStation. That's a whole new game. That's a whole new game, right? Now, I don't know if that will happen, but you can't say from one side, Microsoft, that you want everybody to play everywhere and everybody to be able to buy from everyone and everybody should be able to go into every ecosystem and then lock your own ecosystem, right? You're going to have to open it up, right? So that means everybody else is going to have to open it up, right? So if they're going to do it, they're going to say, hey, regulators, these are locked too. We're willing to play ball. We'll put PlayStation Store on here. We'll put Nintendo Store on here. We'll put Steam Store on here. But that means they have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Does Microsoft have enough cachet to do that? Yes, they do.
I see people,
They do.
Yeah, I see people keep saying Microsoft will Xbox will become the next Sega. I don't think they'll ever become the next Sega because they're just too filthy. They won't. Sega basically ran out of money. They couldn't compete financially with Sony, and they were just pushed off the market.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the console going away. I'm worried about the console having enough of a install base for it to be relevant, right? That's the problem. If it becomes like 15, 20 million in the next generation, well, then third parties are going to have to make a calculus. If I sell like 14,000 copies of my game, am I even making my money back to make the port, right? This is a problem, right? If you have 60, 70, 80 million, now you have enough of an install base that maybe you sell 100,000 copies, 200,000 copies, 300,000 copies. It starts to make sense to actually port the game over. This is a problem they'll just have to contend with, right? So my out for them was a totally different thing. Let's say you do want to go third party, right? The thing to do is say, fine, we're going to take everything and put it everywhere. However, then we're going to go buy Take-Two. We're going to go buy Ubisoft. We're going to go buy Embracer. We're going to go buy Square. We're going to go buy Sega. We're going to go buy EA. All of that together still doesn't keep the hit over 15%, right? So if in 40% is what you start to get to worry, to the worry level. But that means they have to say, we are not going to go exclusive on anything. So we'll put it on anybody's cloud. We'll put it on anybody's subscription. We'll put it on anybody's console. We don't care, right? But we're going to buy everything. Now, what that does for you is when you market the next GTA, who's marketing it? Xbox. When you market the next FIFA, who's marketing it? Xbox. When you market the next Assassin's Creed, who's marketing it? Xbox. So every time you see all the big games, you're going to see Xbox, right? Let's say they go buy Warner as well. The next Hogwarts, Xbox, right? How many people believe that Hogwarts Legacy was a PlayStation exclusive? It's on everything. It's on Switch, for Pete's sake. Now it's Microsoft. It's on Xbox, right? It's everywhere. You can buy it anywhere. We don't care. Stream it from anybody. We don't care. But it's marketed by Xbox. Mindshare, right? Suddenly they just think I have to have an Xbox. Like that's all these games are on Xbox. That's when it's okay to go third party, right? Because then you just have so much breadth of games that no matter where you are in the world, you're going to say, "Oh, I want to play this. The next Final Fantasy is coming out. It's Xbox. Doesn't matter if it's coming on PlayStation 2 and it's coming to Switch, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. It's marketed by Xbox. It takes away that headache of exclusivity because the exclusivity is you marketed it, right? That's just the way it is. So if you want the out, that's the out. But I don't think that's happening in 2 years. I think that's happening over 15 years. And that's why I don't think they should do anything right now. You should, at least this generation, just don't do anything. Just let it go. Stay exclusive the way it is. Get the mind share. You're now cooking. You're cooking. Last year, this year, the year after, you've got so many exclusives. Let that bring people to your platform, expand your platform. Then you can start doing this kind of thing, right? If you get the next one, right? The gimme is Japan. Go buy something there. Nobody's going to say no. They can't. So go buy them. Then start that marketing cycle with that. And that should start increasing your market share in other territories. That's what they need to start doing. Then you can start the talks. I think this is about a 7 or 8 year cycle. Then you start talking the third party stuff. To me, anyways, if I'm doing this, that's what I would do. And I'm pretty sure Phil understands you can't give up on your console if you want enthusiasm for your platform. And that's what generates the buzz for them, right? How many people are saying, oh man, I love my EA. Nobody cares because they're just an open platform, like an open publisher for everybody, right?
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. If Microsoft becomes just an open publisher for everybody, Who gives a damn, right? Cool, you're going to give me games, but I can play it wherever I want to, right? Cool, I'll just play it. Oh, I saw the announcement. That was cool. I like the game. I'm just going to go play it. But it's not about Xbox anymore. If you want that's what you have to do. You have to.
That's the one quote the PlayStation fan base keeps skipping. Is Phil said he's not giving up on consoles. He's not giving up on Xbox.
He's not. He said that console matters.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that interview with Jez, right? And at the end of the year last year, and he said, "No, we're not doing this. It's exclusive. That's the path, right?" And then this whole thing just comes out, and like, I really am kind of sick of it. I like we should be talking about all the cool games we're getting, right? Like the state of decay. I mean, the state of play that we just got to see. Which look, if you're a PlayStation player, I get it. It's probably pretty good for you because it's like, hey, here are all the games that we get to play on PlayStation. Granted, almost like the majority of them are multi-plats, right? Fine, it doesn't matter. You still get to play them, right? And it's just sort of a role reversal when Xbox showcases were like that, where it was a lot of multi-plats. And we're like, hey, these are cool games we get to play, and you're like, but there's no freaking first-party games. You guys suck. You have no games, right? Okay, but we're getting to play games, but that didn't matter then. Now it's fine, right? Because you guys have nothing. So, all right, fine, whatever. Right. So I get it as a PlayStation player. You're like, hey, this is cool. I get to play all these games. I, as a casual looking at the PlayStation side, say, what did you tell me about that I care about on your side? Not much, really. There's just nothing there. Right. Like the ones that are multi-plat, cool. I'll play them. Right. But they're coming to my side, too. They're coming to PC. I'll just play them wherever I want. I don't need a PlayStation. Right. So that's kind of the thing that they're in right now. They're going to be in a lull for the next couple of years. There's just no reason to do it right now. There's just no reason to do it right now. Their real
makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
All right, it's not going to be PlayStation because PlayStation. We're now entered the Jim Ryan era. For those who don't like it, this is the Jim Ryan era, right? Before we were still running on the Sean Layden era, and that's why you got all the cool games that Sean Layden had greenlit. Yeah, well, now we're in the Jim Ryan era. He greenlit all these multiplayer, games as a service games. Maybe you don't like that, but that's what you're getting. So Helldivers and Fair Games and whatever else, Concord,
Concord
Marathon.
The game that's supposed to come out this year.
Factions.
Yep. So
the Dead and Gone factions.
but either way, right? So that's what you're gonna have to look forward to, right? So maybe there's a Ghost of Tsushima too. I hope there is something like that. I don't know what those teams are doing, right?
Rise of Ronin,
right? So, well, yeah. I mean, Rise of Ronin was a money hat. Again, great. That's cool for them for exclusive. Again, I don't know if it's permanent, if it's just timed. I don't know. It's Stellar Blade, same thing. I don't know. Is that enough? I don't think it is.
No.
But here you go. This is kind of where it is, right? So you're gonna start seeing an enthusiasm shift over to the other side, and Nintendo's coming this week. They're saying they're gonna be doing something this coming week, right? I don't know. Whenever it is in the next couple of weeks, they're going to do their announce. And they're going to have a new console with I'm sure it's 15, 20 games.
And Mario 34. Yay.
Right. And whatever it is, right? But the fact is that Mario game will outsell anything PlayStation has ever done.
And that's the same.
Absolutely.
So
that's the reality.
And I will be there day one playing it because I don't care. Their games way are better than anything PlayStation has ever put out. I don't care. They're just that much more fun. So that's the way it is, right? So I'll be playing that game with many, many, many others. And so the enthusiasm is going to be on that side because they have a whole new console. Now, there is supposed to be a PS5 Pro. And again, there could be a June showcase or whatever it is, some summer showcase for them. And they have a whole bunch of game announcements and it'll be great. But show me, right? As far as this whole thing with Hi-Fi Rush,
show me.
I wish this was just put to bed. It's either happening or it's not happening. Either announce it and be done with it, or shut up.
It will devalue the brand. There's no way that this shit is taking place. I just wish everybody would just shut the hell up and stop talking.
Right? It's just
giving light to this nonsense. And again, we can't expect Phil to come out here and do damage control every freaking time somebody wants to bring this up. Enough is enough.
Only tweeted that out. I saw that.
Did that as well. Yeah,
I put out a tweet saying that, and you should have saw some of the replies I got. Ooh.
Oh, I can only imagine.
People were mad.
Dude,
that makes my day. I love pissing people off. It makes my nipples rock hard.
As soon as you get one of those ponies riled up, you're like, it's a brighter day.
So if this is a psyop, right, that Xbox is putting out to say, oh, they had a showcase, did they? let's make it about Xbox. And let's put this
Put it out there.
right?
Let's
Then,
email
I
people
mean,
in the docs like,
who
oh,
knows,
this looks
but-
like High Five Rush. I don't know. Why don't you take a look and pass it to your friends? No,
But, you
yeah,
know,
no, I
don't know if
agree.
that's the case, right? That's pretty intricate, like thinking, but maybe that's
Listen,
it.
I still think
Maybe it
that
isn't,
Bungie was sent in there by Phil. So let
That's enough. Take them down from the inside out,
So all
baby.
their games as a service.
Right? Nah, yeah. Listen, I went ahead and
Ouch.
I was looking through the chat. I put a bunch of chats up here while you guys were talking. But the one, and a few people said it, but the one that I keep going back to is this idea that what are they actually going to gain? Hi-Fi Rush sold 3 million copies as an Xbox game, as an Xbox first party game. Like, how much is that shit really going to sell on PlayStation? PlayStation
Nintendo,
players
for
are
that
not
matter.
going to buy the
No,
game. They're just
no.
going to use it to talk shit online, but they're not
Exactly.
going to
That's
buy
all
it.
they do. See, they want to use it for that, but they're not going to go ahead and say, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
look at these games." That's why they sit there and they say, "We don't want your games." Yet that's all they put out there. We're getting your games. So this
Right.
is just fuel. It makes absolutely no sense for Xbox to go ahead and put their games on
They can't be
PlayStation. It does
It
not.
doesn't.
These motherfuckers don't even buy their own games. Absolutely, they're not going to go ahead and fund freaking Xbox. I mean,
Fucking Baldur's Gate 3.
exactly. These poor freaking developers.
The game was supposed to be their big exclusive.
We
and
don't
they
need
didn't even buy it,
Starfield
bro.
because we have BG3.
And nobody sold up for
And
that
listen,
shit.
I thought they would have with that magic
It-
stick. I was like, damn, they love
Do you
that
think if
pickle riding.
Starfield did come out on PlayStation, do you think they'd buy it?
That one I think they would.
I
They
think
would
they
it would
would.
have
hate
been
pretty
game of
bad.
the year.
That one I think they would because that's the Bethesda game, right? That's the game that they thought they were going to have.
That's
Mm.
the one that PlayStation
won't.
was trying to get to be exclusive to their platform, right?
That's the one
they
that
were
Bill
trying to do
said,
that.
fuck you will. Well,
Yeah.
fuck you will. Swipe
Yep.
building purchased. And he
Yes.
personally, I heard the stories. I had insiders tell me he personally
Yo.
went to the office, grabbed the PlayStation version of the game, downloaded it onto a disc, and tossed that shit in the trash himself. Every single version.
That was the beginning of
You're
the
like
end.
Bruce
and
Wayne.
Jim
I just bought a
Ryan knew it,
hotel.
bro.
Exactly.
I own the building.
That was
Yeah,
yeah,
so
but-
paper, do
yeah,
that
we'll
chair.
see. But I agree with you. Like, I don't think it's going to sell that much more, anyways. And on top of that, Phil's been out there saying that a Game Pass is profitable for them, right? So if that's the case, then why do you need to do this?
And there's that other one that people have been putting around lately, that other quote from Phil under oath when he said that every time we put a third party, one of our games on PlayStation takes that 30% cut and uses it to try to destroy us, pretty much, right? So it's like, why the fuck would he do more of that, right? Like, he's literally doesn't want that shit. Like, this guy's been around for a long time. He's lived through the console days, constantly being shit on as number 2. You don't think that this dude wants to fucking smack these fucking fools down, bro?
We
Yo,
want to
but
beat the living shit out of these ponies. What do you think he feels?
look at Mad Booty, bro. You motherfuckers keep trying to deny that shit happened. Mad Booty said
Coming
he
out of
wanted
business.
to destroy you. He wanted to spend you out of business. He literally
And what are
wanted
we
to
looking
do
at?
what all these big companies do to these small companies. Okay, they make them irrelevant and throw them away.
And that's
Okay,
what's
How good
happening.
was that
ask your-
comment?
go ask your local bookstores how they felt when Barnes and Noble showed up, right? And now go ask Barnes and Nobles how they feel when all the big online stores showed up, right? It's like, this is what happens, bro. The bigger bank is always gonna win. He wants to destroy PlayStation. He doesn't give a fuck if they're around or not. They're not. You know why? You know why? Because if PlayStation got deleted for whatever reason, I know, competition. Okay, great. But if they got deleted for whatever reason, those players, they're not going to go buy Nintendos.
No, they're not.
They're going to go buy Xboxes. Okay. So he's not losing shit. He's just gaining the 30% he's losing by fucking letting them buy their games on the other system.
Or PCs, but either way, they win. They go buy Windows.
Well, PC
okay,
is the winning.
fine.
Is the winning. 100%. Absolutely.
I was going to jump in.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say, no, playing devil's advocate. Look, devil's advocate. I've had too many drinks. devil's advocate again. They've they could possibly also be doing sort of the rope-a-dope. They could start saying, right, we've got the FTC on our backs, we've got media on our backs, we've got people on our backs now. But they could have some, because Phil said we're doing this, we've got more studios to buy. We're still buying. We've not finished yet by a long shot. He said, what can we do to get sort of FTC sort of just to calm it on us? What games can we offer them? So they could say, right, well, there's offer from Sea of Thieves, 6 years old, yada, yada, yada. Hi-Fi Rush. Maybe they've already got a version for the PlayStation because, as I said, it was made ages ago. They might even have a PlayStation version already somewhere. I think there was talks that there was one, wasn't there, already?
Yeah, it was multi-plat when it first started, for sure.
Yeah, just give them those
game
two
was
games
complete in 2020,
and then we'll release out, and then and then we'll announce that we've bought cheaper studios. We've bought Crystal Dynamics and something else, for example. on top of that, it could be that. It could be just doing something just to sort of muddy the waters, sort of just PlayStation's getting these games. Oh, by the way,
I feel like, listen, the way in no way did they waver. They did not feel like this ABK deal was not going to go through. Like, they knew it. They were there to fight tooth and nail. This is mine. You're not stopping it. And they found a way. And so I mean, we're talking about a lot of money here. Not everything's going to be that big. And I just don't think that's the way they're looking at it.
Yeah. The only thing is ABK deal that was a massive flex. And I think now people,
I mean, it's the biggest publisher, right? Or triple publisher.
Yeah. But when you buy the biggest publisher, that means you can own everyone underneath them.
I mean, outside of Tencent, maybe, right? I don't know if like Tencent maybe counts. I don't know how much of their revenue is gaming and how much their value is gaming.
They can now go after Embracer and just buy up everyone from Embracer, can't they?
But Embracer is very small because they're a whole bunch of indies. Yeah. So Embracer is only like $2.5 billion. So it's a very small, publisher to buy.
Acquisition. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they wanted to go after them, it's probably not a bad idea because Embracer's dying. But I think their next step,
that's what they're waiting.
It's got to be.
They're going to wait to that last moment when there's like no chance of survival, and then they'll scoop in with some lowball answers like, "Hey, Banks, do you want some money or do you want no money? You choose, bitch. You choose." Right,
well, you mean just buying like Crystal and Eidos? I think they should just buy the whole thing. I think they should just buy.
No, if they want, meaning they could buy the whole thing, but they'll wait to the last second. So they're just gonna
potentially.
When the banks that they loan the money.
It's the stupid FTC. Yeah. It's the FTC stupid lawsuit, which is just a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah, it's not going to go through. It's not going to stop the deal. It's not. I mean, it's not going to break up. It's not happening.
As if not enough money has gone into this mess. It's like, get over it. Be done with it. Shoot.
Facts. I do want to get to these super chats because they did wait longer than we normally ever do. So
what is up,
very
baby?
Sorry, Ryu Art. Gaming,
you.
the homie. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you got a lot of clippable moments from this show so far. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Says, Doodle, I'm a masochist. Introduce the sister. Well, hashtag no PS6 or have done no PS6. Listen, as crazy as they might be, she's also married, so that's not happening.
Down.
The homie J Mac.
What's up, baby?
Homie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Says Game Pass. I put an L in there because the ponies are losers. Game Pass, though, and Call of Duty equals eyes on Game Pass. Hashtag Xbox World Order. You know it, brother. That's exactly what it'd be. And again, I apologize for taking so long to get to these. Sir X-Men, the homie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Says, did Xbox say multi-plat officially? I heard nothing. That's exactly what you heard. You heard nothing because they have not said it, but a bunch of random people have decided that this is the road they're going to take. They're going to get behind the idea that the $3 trillion company somehow needs PlayStation and Nintendo to survive. Fam, Phil Spencer was asked point blank direct, do you need the PlayStation for Starfield? Do you need them? And he immediately, without any further thought necessary, said no. And I think what he really said, no, you bitch ass. Like that's what I heard, but he said no. Okay, immediately said no. If he didn't need it for Starfield, why the fuck would he need it for Hi-Fi Rush?
That's an excellent question, see.
It's exactly the
Not
problem.
to
And why
mention-
would you need it for Sea of Thieves, which has been around for, what is it, 6 years, has had 30 million players,
fucking- come on, man.
had Disney
man.
level DLCs. Like, just why? Just stop.
Also, I don't think
Exactly.
I don't think Switch is in contention here. Nintendo, I don't think they see Nintendo as a direct competition. I think they see PlayStation, but I don't think Nintendo and Xbox are direct competition. I know they're both consoles, but I think they're almost different markets. If you know what I mean, like same as sort of PC and console.
That
I
might
don't
be
think-
there's
think-
different
Tension,
markets,
right? If you
But
look
yeah.
at, like, let's say they even get all the third parties, you're right in that if you wanted to buy a console for children, you're going to
Yeah.
gravitate towards Nintendo, right? If you're
Yeah.
buying a console as an adult,
And
you
it's still
generally
sort of
gravitate
portable. The Switch,
towards-
yeah.
even that,
Yeah.
like even well, I'm sure all of us here have a Switch in the house, right? But you know, we'll most
Oh,
likely
shit.
be
I do. The fuck I do. I don't have that Nintendo shit in my house. That's what Fuzzy said.
really.
Fuzzy
You don't
said
have
no.
a Switch.
I
Not
no,
one Switch
I,
in your house.
I
Wow.
asked
Joe?
my kids if they wanted one. I don't want anything Nintendo. I've always been a Sega kid. I never want anything Nintendo.
Oh
Wow.
shit! Sega
So
in the
you're
house.
skipping all the best games that come out on Nintendo. Wow.
I hate Zelda. I hate it with a passion. Like from was it like Super Nintendo days? And I know it's different now. I've never
Yeah, to be
wanted
fair,
a
I
Nintendo.
also hated Zelda 100% with all my soul and heart. I don't understand.
I can't
how
believe
people
I'm hearing
thought
this. You hate
Ocarina
Mass
of
Effect
Time
too?
was a good game. I thought that game was
Do you hate Mass
garbage
Effect as well?
trash.
Mass Effect? No, I like Mass Effect.
Okay, and so the best platform of Mario, you don't want to play that. You don't want to play the best adventure game in Zelda. Okay, that's crazy. But okay, fair enough.
Listen, maybe the
Keep up
Switch
saying
2
that.
will bring him back when he can see something that graphically is somewhere decent. I love
Like
listen,
Pal World,
Breath of the Wild-
graphics are so good. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm not
wait.
even playing
You
it.
Just
compare
calling the
Pal World
hypocrisy
to
here.
Pokemon. You compare
I'm not
Power World to
playing Power World,
Pokemon,
though.
and graphically, Power World looks stunning in comparison. It's a whole
Mm.
different look.
It's
And
not,
Pokemon?
dude. it's
And Pokemon
it's
games are-
pretty cartoony, man.
Oh well, definitely cartoony. But
Yeah,
I do
like,
agree.
what?
We have Switches too. We have to have them.
Ridiculous. It's
I get it.
ridiculous.
So you do have some.
Oh yeah,
we do.
for sure. Like it's stupid.
that's
Yeah,
I'm the one
Fuzzy.
we
without.
have 6 kids.
Fuzzy's
Yeah,
the one.
Yeah.
We have.
That's
I'm
different,
using
right?
my Switch right now as a stand for my camera.
But most
His Pokemon,
adults would
actually, your
prefer one of
Pokemon
the PlayStation or
Switch.
Xbox, right? So I get
He's
that.
holding the camera.
Mhm.
By the way, this made me laugh.
No, you
And where's
bitches, we don't
Wilmy?
need
I haven't
to
heard
talk
from him
shit.
in a while.
Quick draw Canuck.
No, Wilmy's.
What's up,
wait, I
baby?
think he's back. Okay.
Okay.
he
By
is
the
back.
way, my girl Becca, she says I don't have a Switch.
Oh shit. She also
Flat
dropped.
out.
She also dropped her PlayStation. She was like, I ain't got time for
Yeah.
that. She used to be a PlayStation head. She dropped that, converted to the true
She's seen the
side
light.
of gaming. She has seen the light. The homie Rangy 4. Thank you, my brother, for being here.
What's
Thank
up,
you so much
baby?
for that $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my man. Says ponies think they are the good old boys from Blues Brothers.
Listen, these ponies
Yeah,
are wild.
They on some other shit for sure. They on some other shit for sure.
They're on
Real
that
quick.
powder.
So Elite has gotten his bars
Hoggy's
off
on the
on
gin.
what Hard Heat has been saying. Just between let's go. I'm gonna go to Wilmy, then I'll go to you, Fuzzy, before we switch topics. Anything, Hard Heat dropped a lot of bars, some fire shit. Anything that you heard from Hard Heat that you have any other comments on or ideas on, or anything you want to say about any of that stuff?
I agree with him 100%. I mean, I really do. He summed it up pretty well because we really don't know. And I don't think it's going to happen, but we don't know 100% for certain. And if it does, I mean, there's really not much we can do about it. But you can always, you will see your usual suspects, online talking trash. And I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes. But at least you can tell them it's a Microsoft studio. So, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't see it happening. And if they did give them Sea of Thieves, who cares? I spent 6 minutes with that game and knew it wasn't for me. And that was a long 6 minutes, but I just, yeah, I think I'd rather play Pal World. But
Have you
Power
played
World
Power was a
is
good game, bro.
no, dude,
Full
I have not
slander.
played
It's
Pal World.
addictive. It's pretty fire. But I
You
think
know
it's the
what, dude?
question, like Hargeet said, the question is, okay, so then what else? Right. And I feel like it will devalue the brand, and it goes against everything that they've told us. And listen, they said that they were getting these games and these studios for the people and the fans that have stuck with them through their dryness, right? We know that they were, having a certain type of situation going on. And this is for the ride or dies, right? And I just don't see saying that and then saying, you know what, fuck it, we're going to change our minds. I mean, it's a bad look.
Well,
The
that's
only the
that's
only
thing.
It's
issue
just
with
bad
that,
look.
and to
Okay,
kind
go
of
ahead.
add to what Hargeet said, what we all need to remember, and sometimes it's really hard. We get into our own little echo chambers and we kind of forget. We are a small percentage of gamers around the world. Even though there's 3,000 podcasts for Xbox and 5,000 for PlayStation, we're the smallest number. And they bought King, which owns Candy Crush. I mean, they bought a cash machine when they bought King. Because all those mobile games, my wife plays mobile games. I don't even want to tell you how much money she spends on some of these. Because it blows my mind. I'm like, don't ever pick on me about buying a game. Because you just basically spent $80 to take a fucking turn with a card. But
Yep.
they're making money quicker than they can count it. They got like Jim Baker money.
But
Yeah,
doesn't that literally kind of feed into the point?
Absolutely,
Right?
see.
If they just acquire King, and they have already this huge mobile market, they become the biggest, right? Pretty much overnight. They have all this income coming in, and all they're going to do is double down on that by releasing more into the mobile market. Why do they need PlayStation? PlayStation is the smallest portion of this business for them.
That's the thing, though. They don't need them. I think it's a thing, maybe a dominance. Because I mean, think about it. And I was on Iron Lords. It's been a while back, and Saab said something that really kind of stuck. For years, Sony had, when Microsoft was on the ground, Sony kept their boot right on their neck. I mean, just for no other reason than to do it. And maybe it could be a thing just to show dominance. Because, I mean, we don't know how Bill Gates thinks. We don't know how Moody thinks or any of these guys. They could be sitting back going, you know what? It's time to make these bitches pay.
He is a killer. Booty has said it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
let me ask
maybe
you a
it's a
question.
dominant
If
thing.
they start giving them the games, then how are we going to get these console sales up? I thought that was one of the main things that they were trying to target.
Like I said, we are a small fraction of gamers around the world. And they do listen. I mean, they proved it. They do respond on social media when they feel they really need to. But because right now you got a lot of entitled people thinks they're supposed to answer to everything, which I don't blame them. If I was Phil, I would take every device I have and throw it in the fireplace when I got home. I would not even open any social media apps, period. I would never turn on my Xbox and show being online because I can't imagine the messages this poor guy gets. But we are a small percentage, and they, maybe they don't feel that way because at the end of the day, Microsoft's always been a software company. They've always been a software company.
I mean, but Satya told us that, right? Satya told us that he does not want any exclusives, but he has to do it because that is the nature of the business.
It is.
Yeah, well, and exactly. Right? But it's
and how are you going to compete if you're handing out your games? It just makes no damn sense. And again, let's go back to the fact that how are they going to go ahead and compete with console sales if they're handing over their games? It makes no sense. They've said it themselves. We are going to compete.
Yeah, Satya said it. The place, as long as PlayStation is still keeping their games to themselves, then I don't think any Xbox fan has to worry about Xbox games going to PlayStation outside of what we've already known to be true. The Cupheads of the world, the As Dust Falls of the world, when they do these deals with these third-party companies to make games for them, they eventually let them go. Contraband might be that game when it releases, right? We get it for however long we get it for, and if it starts petering out and nobody's playing it or whatever, then they'll say, okay, go ahead and release it wherever the hell you want to release it, because it's not a first party title. And I think we're all smart enough to know the difference, right? If it's a first party owned title, that is supposed to stay with your first party, right? The crack in it for PlayStation is we get MLB because even though it's a first party studio, PlayStation is basically just lending their first party studio to MLB, right? MLB is the one who's publishing that game, and that's why that takes place. Sony is not publishing the game, the MLB is, right? So that scenario, sure,
Is
that
MLB
happens.
publishing it on PlayStation?
I
think PlayStation
I don't
Studios
know.
still publishes it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
what
they
I'm saying
publish
is,
their
I
own
guess
version
the
on
reason it's
PlayStation.
elsewhere is because it's going here, right? So they're part of their deal
And
with them
eventually
is,
it's
hey,
supposed to go PC and Switch and everything, right? They want it everywhere,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah, because MLB saying if you want to be able to keep making this game, you can make it on your system, but it's going elsewhere. So
Yeah.
that is the deal that they went ahead and did with them.
Do you
But the
find it
point is,
odd that
that's
they're
where
not
it is.
that they're not doing anything to showcase that game?
Who? PlayStation?
Who, Sony?
PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stop doing
no,
it now.
they don't like to do it anymore because
Are they gonna
it's
do
on
a
Game
separate?
Pass.
Are they gonna do? Well, are they gonna do a separate state to play for that thing or something? I mean, like, shouldn't they like showcase it in some way?
They've just cut
No,
it off
they don't
now,
ever
just
really do that
showcased
anymore.
Don't
The
market it
cover
anymore.
announcement.
Yeah, and
Because
that's
it wasn't in the past
really
few
it,
state
right?
plays. Yeah. Yeah, just the
Yeah.
cover
But
announcement, then the
doesn't that
launch
seem odd
day.
though?
Because every time they
I don't
market
think
it, I
they
suppose
have
they're
done
going
it
to have
ever
to show
I
the
since,
don't think
Xbox.
before it came to Xbox, they did anything really for it either.
No, before I do distinctly remember them putting out
Yeah.
like trailers for it. Like it was something that we saw that they definitely showed before the game started coming to Xbox. Once the game
Maybe they never did. But,
started coming to Xbox, they just dipped out and they're like, "Now we're good." How can they sit there and with a straight face advertise to their PlayStation players, "Look at this amazing game. Come watch. It's so dope." Oh yeah, $70 at the end of that trailer. But if you're on Xbox, it's El Gratis in your Game Pass. Like you can't make that work. You know what I'm saying?
Call of Duty.
At
Call of
this
Duty will
point-
be interesting next year.
Well, I mean, Xbox is going to be dominating with that bad boy. But it's just that's really the problem with them. Let me get a couple of these super chats again. I don't want to make our homies wait. Cypher Type 1, thank
What's
you,
up,
my
baby?
brother.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
here. And thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Says the Switch was always the second console of Xbox and PlayStation owners, and the OG Xbox was a spiritual Sega console. So of course, most of us didn't rock with Nintendo. Yo,
I mean,
I
I've
was a
always
Sega
rocked with
kid.
Nintendo, and I still like my Xbox. So there. I still don't get how Dreamcast guys switched from Sega to the company that absolutely demolished and destroyed and
Destroy
took
them,
out.
Some people are
right?
masochists.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the true
Some
definition
people-
right there.
Get it? Why is he not on
You know
Xbox?
why?
Anyway,
Because he said they beat me into submission and now I must go serve them. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like that's
see.
the way he saw it.
That's what it
Because
seems
he
like.
figured if he went elsewhere, he would just get destroyed. That's his mindset. They already battered
Yeah,
him.
they that power, they follow the power. And listen, again,
Weak-minded people, bro.
Xbox sells consoles, but they will sell a lot more if they continue on this path. I don't
they're
believe
crushing
in
it. They're
sharing.
crushing it. We don't share.
Mm-mm.
The homie Rashawn Eppinger, thank you, my
What's
brother, for
up,
being
baby?
here. And thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Says, how low do console sales have to be for Microsoft to say it's not worth making? If games are elsewhere, will Microsoft be forced out of hardware and we lose Xbox? Okay, well, those are two different things. I don't think in a normal case scenario, I don't think there's a version of, I mean, obviously there is a version. If literally no one's buying the console and everyone has all of a sudden just decided we only subscribe to Game Pass and they have hundreds of millions of Game Pass subscribers and like no console sales, then yeah, there's no reason to make it. But I don't think that's realistic. I still think that no matter what, there's going to be a market for the foreseeable future. So at least till the next generation, where consoles are gonna have to be made in order for them to still be relevant. Um, for the most part, I would say. After next gen, that's where things get dicey. That's where it's like because cloud is gonna. I mean, cloud is already powerful enough. I mean, I can tell you right now, I don't need my dope ass PC, even though I have it. Okay, and I love it, but I don't need it because I'm subscribed to GeForce Now, and that shit is buttery smooth, bro. I stream most of the time. They have Game Pass now on there, so I get to play all my, Game Pass games that I'm playing. Fire. It's
It actually works good
beautiful.
on Samsung TVs too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anything you should GeForce Now is dope as fuck. If you got a good connection, you are experiencing near native. And I don't care what anybody says, I play it often. And it is great. So I mean, the moment that becomes like the norm, I don't think I need to upgrade my PC. I'll probably the 5090 is what I'll get whenever that comes out. And then that might be the last time I do it if I see that GeForce Now, they did the same thing. They had a 4080 tier, which is amazing. And
So
I'm sure
5080
they'll bump it up to the 5080
at some
series once
point
that comes
it
out.
just becomes like useless, right? But how much more power are you going to need? We're already like with the 4090, we're already doing 4K with DLSS anyways, 4K, 120 frames, everything turned on, right? Path tracing, everything turned on. So how much more do you really need, right? If you get to a 5090, I mean, like, okay, what's the
Dude, I
6090
agree.
pitch?
Mine is like a
what's
big
the
giant portable heater now.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
just, what's the pitch, right? And the problem is like if you go like say 7-8 years out, the 4090 is junk. That's just the way it goes, right? Tech will just keep going. So the 4090 is junk, and that's what you'll have in like the next generation console will probably be upwards of 60, if not with double execution 100 120 T-flops, right? Something ridiculous, right? If it's already that far up, how much more do you really need in a console to give you all the capabilities you need, right? So when they make the next jump, what is the next thing after? What are they going to pitch you after that? Because they were pitching us,
That's
120 frames and ray tracing. Well, you couldn't do both at the same time on the current gen, but the next one you will. What's the next gimmick? What are you going to do?
Star
You
Trek
get
holodeck.
cosplayers. Yeah, you
Right?
get cosplayers to come to your house and you just order them around with a stick.
That'll work really good with the PlayStation Pornhub thing, right? Anyway. But I think that's kind of the problem you run into. Like, if the next generation is so, like, if it is really in that 100 plus T-flop range, which it probably will end up being that, I just don't see the need for it to go beyond that. And then the question was like, part one was how low does the console sales have to be for them to drop it under 20? If it's under 20 million, then there's just no point in going forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Because you're just so much, you're walloped by your competition so much that it's just not. The problem is like no third party will want to put their game on your console. That's where it dies.
Yeah,
So unless
or
you
you gotta
buy
pay for it. Yeah, I was about to say you gotta pay for it to go the other way. That's why you can't forget, guys. We saw the leaks. The reason why next gen is most likely going to be the last one, unless something drastic comes about, is because they are getting into AI in the cloud. AI in the cloud are going to add to whatever's in the box.
Yeah.
And you're done. Sky's the limit. You don't need it anymore. You don't ever need anymore unless the only thing that would drive a console to require more is if there's some type of crazy leap in CPU technology. Some crazy CPU technology that just makes it way easier for AI or whatever the case is. If that's not
they'll have
by
an
the time
AI
the
part of
one-
their next APU, right? So there's going to be the GPU
yeah,
part.
Microsoft's supposed to be
the
making
CPU,
it themselves.
and they're going to have an AI. They're all going to do it. The PlayStation 6 would have it too. There's just no way around it. You have to have it now. So they're going to have an AI component, and then the other part is the GPUs. They do AI, right? So you can always just say, I'm going to take 20% of my GPU power and augment my AI capabilities. So it's just too much. I don't know how much more power you need. At some point, you just have to say it's enough. I don't even know why I would need to upgrade my 4090. Like honestly, I'm playing Path Trace Cyberpunk at
it's
100 plus
amazing.
frames. I'm
Yeah.
like,
it's really
what do I need
amazing.
more?
It's magic. But you know, the funny thing is that it's not even, to be clear, it's not your 4090. If you took off DSS, you know, the DS, what the fuck?
DLSS.
Why am I? Yes, DLSS. I don't know why I just went crazy. It's that damn Death Stranding. The DS got me all fucked up. The DLSS, you take that off, all of a sudden, that 4090 can't handle shit. You put ray tracing, all that stuff on there,
It goes down to 40, something like that, 40 to 50 frames.
yeah, like super low, right? So it's not,
but the
it
DLSS
is not
exists.
powerful enough.
Right?
Exactly. And that's that's the difference, though. That's why the consoles are going to be so crazy next gen, because it's not the hardware. That's why I stand on it. That's why I think that the Switch is going to be a lot more fucking powerful than people think it's going to be. Not in the box.
It is
not in the box. It's going to be NVIDIA's DLSS technology that's in there. It's exclusive to Nintendo because they do not work on Xbox and PlayStation. They have AMD, who is the inferior version of it. Just to be clear, nobody can touch NVIDIA with their technology. It's just the fact of what it is.
If they do 12 plus gigs of memory, it's going to be very, very good. The Nintendo is going to be very, very good.
That's really all they need to do, and the rest is all going to be from DLSS. It's going to take all those games that are going to, you look
make
at
it
the box, the
1440,
specs,
60.
It's gonna be insane. 60 FPS. I'm 120 FPS, bro. The DLSS 3 will take anything and bring you up to 120 frames per second, bro. It's crazy, and that's just what it is. But this is perfect because we are transitioning to the next topic. All right, I think we said enough about these.
I think we beat the fuck out of this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're dead. Okay, I think if you still believe, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. I can't help you anymore. But yes, okay, we're talking about hardware. Fun fact: today, Jess Corden was out in these streets, okay, talking about new potential Xbox hardware, and in fact, he was on his podcast earlier today, with Randall Thor 19, and he said, I have here, that Xbox has greenlit multiple new hardware projects in the last couple weeks. Xbox hardware is here to stay, and there's more stuff coming, and even exclusives here to stay. There's still going to be exclusives too. I don't know what that part matters, but the first part, definitely about the hardware, that they have new hardware coming. And then Jez went ahead and wrote this article on the Xbox handheld. Now, I did just see a rumor, not that the person who did the rumor is any type of valid source, but rumor nonetheless, that PlayStation is also looking at doing another handheld with local power on it. So now we start thinking about this in a certain type of way. We heard that Xbox might jump early, right? That was instead of waiting to 2028, like supposedly that's when PlayStation 6 is supposed to come out. We heard that they might be jumping 2026. So instead of doing the hardware refresh this year, don't do that and just put everything into a new system coming in 2026, right? So if that's the case, and this whole new motion of the handhelds, we know handhelds have been taken over, right? The ROG Ally, Steam Deck, the Logitech G Cloud, like handhelds are here.
Yeah,
and then
they're it, bro.
Yeah, and you still have the other brands, the brands that were here before. Exactly.
See, there we go.
They got the OLED Steam Deck that I kind of want to get for no
PS
reason.
Portal.
Sit there.
Just
The PS Portal is not a handheld.
No, not that.
We don't talk about that shit here, Elite. Okay, that shit does not exist to us. That shit is trash. All right, so that don't exist.
I will buy one just to throw it out.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. But we did see that all these things are coming out. The handhelds are taking over. They're becoming a big thing. We got this, rumor with PlayStation doing handheld. Now there's the thought that Xbox can be doing a handheld. But if they're just starting right now, or if they've just had it in the works for a short amount of time, God, that leads me to believe that they're going to do a instead of having a Series S right? So instead of having the lower powered box,
Yeah.
they'll do a lower powered handheld. So you get the big console, lower power handheld that you can plug into the TV. So it's just like a console. Maybe dock it with a box that does have power in there to enhance
Switch
it.
style.
Guys, am I crazy?
No.
Is this a possibility for Xbox to be looking into doing with? I mean, I gotta tell you, no matter what you feel about Nintendo, okay, no matter what you think about them, they fucking crushed it with the Switch.
Absolutely,
Getting
bro.
rid of their handhelds, getting rid
The
of their
DS, the
consoles,
3DS.
and just making a hybrid handheld slash console was the most genius fucking thing. Phil Spencer even mentioned it that they knocked it out of the park with that. Like they weren't thinking about that. And now, if you want to be relevant going into next gen, do you think that you have to mimic the Switch and give people the option to having a handheld that will serve as your console? I'm not saying being the only way. I think they do a Series X, Series S type version. Series X, just the box, maybe, and it's super powerful and all the shit. The handheld would be the Series S that you plug in, and it's less powerful than the big one, but it's there. Or maybe they just go on and it's just a hybrid. The Series X and S combined. The X is the powerhouse, but you remove the handheld and you have the
It
S
turns
in your
into an
hand.
S. I like that.
I'm just saying, all these rumors coming around with hardware happening. Where do we think? Let's go with Wilmy. Let's start with the Wilmy hood. What do you think? Am I drinking? Am I like elite over here with his booze? Getting it in?
It's not that far fetched. I mean, there's been rumors, already a while back. I think Microsoft would kill it if they did make a handheld, because people have been screaming for one for years. And we all know how popular the Sony ones were. I mean, everybody had a Vita, the PSP. We've had them, still got them. And yes, I even have a Portal. Because why? I just buy dumb shit. It's just my hobby.
I'm a recovering
Yeah.
dumb shit buyer. I used to up until the Portal where I said,
Yeah, but
fuck
see,
all that
dude,
shit.
You got 6
did
kids.
it.
My kids are all grown. So, it's a little different for me. But
I feel like
it's very possible. I mean, you never know, man. These guys, they do this for a living. We can sit here and talk about it. They've got a room full of attorneys and advisors, and they know far better than what we do. So who knows? But I don't think it's that far fetched. But they do need to make something upgradable. That would be nice. That would be really
then
Well,
nice.
again-
Phil did have that interview, right? Where he went ahead and he was talking about PC, how you can just go ahead and upgrade the graphics card. And instead of buying a box every time, there should be a way, or they want to figure out a way where you could just go ahead and upgrade the box rather than buy a new box. And so we know they've been, tinkering
Well,
around trying to figure
I think
out.
that was ultimately what led to the idea of the cloud adding to it. So instead
To
of
go
having
ahead
to
and do an
upgrade,
actual update.
yeah,
Yes.
so instead of upgrading the box, they upgrade the server, right? Server upgraded, now you got more power and problem solved. But I mean, do you think listen, obviously nobody thought about this except for Nintendo, right? So you couldn't just come in afterwards and be like, all right, now here's our handle that works with our console and all this shit, right? But do you think they would be missing the boat when clearly this technology exists? Clearly, we know the Switch 2 is going to have power because of DLSS, right? Like on top of the whatever's in the box. Like we know it's going to be something big. Are they missing the boat if they just release a console by itself and or a handheld separately? Do you think the combo of it where you buy one time and you get both, do you think they would be missing the boat, Fuzzy?
It's strange. Like this generation, or actually even the previous generation. Well, no, I guess it was mainly this generation when the Steam Deck came out. I was kind of surprised that they didn't pull a move, kind of like what they did with the B&O headset, and just do like a made for Xbox Steam Deck, because even Valve and Steam themselves said that they're willing to share the schematics for the Steam Deck with other parties if interested. So I'm kind of wondering why they didn't do like a commissioned Steam Deck that already has the Game Pass app built in, where you could play some of the games natively as well. I mean, you could obviously do that through the Steam store, but having one that was kind of like a, mini or a portable Xbox where you could flip between the Steam OS or the Xbox OS would have made sense, or at least it seemed like it would make sense to me. So I'm surprised that they didn't do that. But for them to get into the portable market now, I know from rumors in the background and stuff like that that they've looked into it, and it's been like an on again, off again, on again, off again, on again kind of thing. And I guess now it seems like it's got more of a push for it. I wouldn't be surprised if it winds up being like either your X is still the powerful console that, or the most powerful console for that gen at that time, and then the portable would replace the Series S, which would kind of make more sense. I mean, look at how well, I don't know exactly how well, but look at how much buzz there was for that X screen for the S. I mean, sure, it's not going to be portable like a Switch, but it makes it so if you're taking it on the road with you, you're going to, let's say, well, there's no more E3, but you were going to like Fan Fest and you want to have that at the hotel. I mean, whether you're taking it on the flight or you're going, in the hotel room, you don't have to worry about, not playing your Xbox games on your phone. You'd have your Series S there with the screen to it. So I think it definitely makes sense for them. I would hope that they look at the problems of the Switch and learn from it. So that way, either, thumbsticks are replaceable or they go with the better quality ones. I forget what kind of term it is for the better, thumbsticks and stuff, but hopefully they go with something along those lines so you don't have to worry about the stick drift and things like that. But I would be fine.
And frustrating.
Yeah, I would be fine if it's a hybrid like the Switch, where it's the Series S level when it's in handheld mode, dock it, and it's the Series X level. Which now, if you look at PCs, there's even things where you can add an upgraded video card to your maybe dated laptop or to your Steam Deck. If you're using your Steam Deck as a PC hooked up to like a hub, you can actually connect the 4080 to it or something like that. So it would be nice if they come up with something that gives you more options, where you have all of the stuff that they've been pushing, where Play Anywhere, it's like, oh, you can play on your phone, you can play on your PC. Well, that would kind of blend the PC and console and handheld, or your phone, where you don't have to have it tied up to just being gaming, where you have like the T-Bone, or like I forget the one I have, the Razer Kishi or whatever, to your phone kind of deal. You could just have this portable as an all-in-one type of thing. It'd make perfect sense for them, and I hope they do it. And as far as PlayStation doing it, because I know that there's that rumor out there now, it just feels weird that they went and made the Portal, and people were like, oh, they should have made, full on. Like, they should have known to make a full on to begin with. I mean, the portable one makes sense, but it's like, you made the portable, and now you're going to make this. It's like, for a lot of us, it's fine. We can, get the portable now and then get the full on later. But some people are like, man, I've been duped. I got the portable, and it's like, I have to stream everything. Yep. Now you come out with the full one. It's like, what the hell? So I could see that being I could see that kind of blowing up in their face a little bit. But these companies need to get on board with, the whole mobile aspect and support it all the way through. I think that was the biggest thing that was a drawback with PlayStation in the past. It's like, yeah, we made it, and then we're going to ignore it. And it's like, wait, you had all these great games. Why aren't you still putting games over there? It's like, I think as long as they make it easier for developers to port the same game that would be on like a actual standalone console, have it where it's like the same level graphically or power wise to do so, I think it'd be a killer ideal for both parties to do it. But I definitely,
you're right.
I wouldn't get rid of my what do you call them? My Steam Deck, but it would probably replace me playing on my Steam Deck if Xbox released the portable. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think at this point the market would lose their shit if you want me to buy a handheld that's going to get its own games I want a handheld that I could play the games I already have. So I would be really pissed. But real quick, before we keep going with this, the homie Wilmy Hood, man, thank you so much. He does have to get going, so I do want to get him out. Man, Wilmy, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so
Wilmy,
much
thank
for
you
being
so
here, homie.
much.
Oh, it was fun. What can I say? And nobody got molested by anybody in Baldur's Gate 3. So that was
That's
a
a
plus.
win. That's always a plus for sure. For sure.
I was trying to.
I was trying to. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
it happened.
Wilmy,
I tried it with every
where
woman in that
can-
game, and none of them wanted it.
Oh my god!
Well,
that's hilarious.
it's really easy to
Oh,
find
where
me.
can
You can find me on Twitter. Look for Wilmy Hood #2, since they took away my first account for some odd reason. And you can find me on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. Just look for Wilmy Hood. And every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, look up Gaming Beyond the Box. And unlike a lot of channels, and I'm not knocking you, I've been hearing all this stuff, about people with the blue check marks and, everybody's just clickbaiting for money. I demonetized my own channel. We have 31,000 subscribers. I've never done this for money because, let's face it, it's no fun really sometimes. And YouTube's more of an aggravation than anything. You just don't realize it till you do it for a few years. So we demonetized our channel. So whatever we say during our podcast, you cannot ever say that we do it for money. So
Hey,
that's
respect,
it.
brother.
I
Respect,
thought
Yeah.
well,
Microsoft
my
was
man.
banned.
Thank
For
you so
rocking
much.
with us.
Appreciate you coming by, man. Hopefully we can have you on again soon.
Oh, definitely.
We do appreciate you, my man. Thank you so very much, my brother.
All right.
Everybody,
Fuzzy,
make sure you go check out his
Elite,
channel.
Let's
Elite,
go.
everybody have a great night. And I'm going to go have
You
dinner.
too.
Goodbye, mate.
You as well.
Go and have some dinner.
Later.
Later.
Thanks, man.
See you, mate.
All right. Wilmy Hood, that's the homie. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother. All right. So my question now, that because we kind of dug into it, but like I just said it, but is that true? Would you be okay if they came out with if Xbox or PlayStation came out with a handheld that had its own ecosystem, meaning you had to buy games that were specially made for the handheld, a la Vita and all that stuff from back in the day, right? That it was its own ecosystem, or the Nintendo DS, right? All that stuff that was their own ecosystem, right? Recently, we've had all these handhelds, and we're just playing the games that we own portably, right? If Xbox or PlayStation announced tomorrow, hey, we got new handhelds, but they're not playing the games we have, special games are made for that. Versions of the games are made for that or ported to it. Are you okay with that?
Who are you asking?
Yeah,
Oh,
where we starting?
Sorry, I was just since Fuzzy was just kind of just finished talking.
For me, I would not want to start a new collection. I would like to just continue what I already have, like play some of my back catalog, and any of the new games that would be coming out to like their standard console or those standard games. I wouldn't want to have to wait, kind of like what Switch does with some of the third parties, where it's like, oh, the game released for everybody 6 months ago, and it's eventually coming to Switch. I mean, yeah, the power and the programming aspect of it, but yeah, I would hope that they would make these powerful enough, kind of like how the Steam Deck has shown that you can have PC games that can kind of be turned down a bit, just to at least still have it on that same platform, kind of thing. So it'd be a kind of I wouldn't say a negative for me, but I would hold off at least initially until I see what the support's like and what the turnaround time. If they're all coming out same date, I might consider it at that point, but it would be a harder sell at that point if they did it that way.
Okay, I feel that. What about you, Elite? What do you think, brother? Do you think if they came out with a handheld tomorrow, but it was its own ecosystem, right? So Xbox game, when it's released, you don't know if there's going to be a version on the handheld or if they're the same or they're just releasing separate games like back in the day, right? That's what they used to do.
Yeah.
PlayStation and PlayStation Vita, separate games, right? Nobody said, oh, this game's coming to PlayStation. I wonder if I'm going to get on the PlayStation Vita. It's just like, no, it's just
And that's why
different games, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what do you see with that?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking Microsoft buys Valve and then puts Game Pass on Steam. Other than that, no, I think the portable has to be completely compatible with all the consoles and Game Pass and everything. Has to be completely back compat and have access to everything. All games, I reckon. And yeah, you can't lock down. You can't make the portable exclusive to certain games. It just doesn't work. It'll die horribly. You release a portable, you put Game Pass on it, maybe as almost sort of as part of a subscription sort of thing. You just buy the thing and you can just play everything. It just be portable. Now, what you was going with earlier, where you have a powerful console and you do away with the slim or the smaller console, and you have a portable, and just for those two, I think that'd be a fantastic mix. So yeah.
Okay. So, Hargy, what do you think, man? Where are you with it? Do you think that we're able to have these consoles come out with a handheld, these console makers come out with a handheld that its own ecosystem, or do they need to just do what everybody else is doing now, and whatever they make is just an extension of their current hardware?
So, look, do you guys have like the Rogue or the like
I have the ROG, the Steam Deck, the LG, the Logitech Cloud.
the Logitech G Cloud? Okay. And then now we have an MSI Claw, and there's a Lenovo, right? There's a
those I didn't.
Aya Neo. There's whatever, right? There's a bunch of PC based things. Look, the answer is it's going to be PC, right? Because if you take the console route, you're just adding more headache for the developers. They already have 2 SKUs, and that's already been a pain in the ass, right? Now you're going to add another one, and you have to take into account that it's going to be docked and undocked, just like the Nintendo, which has technically 2 SKUs, right? There's a docked mode and undocked mode, and you have to program both, right? So you're going to add even more complication. The answer is PC, right? Because PC is just auto scale. It just handles it. It's already like that. Every developer who puts a game on PC knows that you have to handle very low end cards all the way to 4090 and anywhere in between, and performance can vary and all that stuff, right? So and that's what you do. The main headache isn't that you can do that, right? Because that already exists. The main headache is Windows. Windows is the problem. No matter how you cut it, it's the interface is not designed to be a console. The bad part is like they already have it and they haven't done it already. They have the Xbox. The UI is just on top of freaking Windows already. You just copy it and freaking put it on Windows and you're done, right? That's what they need to do.
Facts. I always wanted that in general. I always wish that my PC would just turn on and it would just be my Xbox like screen and I could just pick the games.
Yeah, and it's not like this is not unheard of. They've like you can change the shell to whatever you want, right? You could take away Explorer and do whatever you want. They've had that ability since way back with NT when it came out. You could change the shell to whatever you like, right? I think you could even do it in freaking 95. It was so like they can easily do this, right? They could change the UI to whatever you like, and you could always swap back and say, "Hey, I need to go do something with the base OS, like switch back to normal mode, and I can go back to the desktop thing, right?" But by default, it just boots up and it looks like an Xbox, and it acts like an Xbox. There's so many inconsistencies. It's like simply if I push the Xbox button, it brings up this odd, stupid Xbox game bar thingamabobby, which is not anywhere near as good as what you get as the Xbox guide on Xbox. Yet they own it. They could easily port it over, right? Mm-hmm. So the real magic isn't going to be like the hardware. That should just be PC. They already have it. They work with it, AMD. They could easily take the same stupid CPU, GPU, APU combo they use for all these other ones. Or MSI is using Intel, right? They could do that. I don't care, whatever. You could even work with NVIDIA, like whatever. Do whatever you want for the hardware part of it, but it's going to be Windows. The problem is the interface. It's got to be that, and they have to unify all the app stores, right? The aggregators out there are, they're okay. They're not as consistent as they could be. And what they need to do is not just, hey, I wrote an aggregator, I use API calls. No, work with Valve, work with Epic, work with CD Projekt Red, right? GOG, right? So et cetera, right? Amazon, and say, no, we want to have a store that will function with every one of you, and we want to write that together. Let's make that happen. Then what Microsoft, as Microsoft, right? What they will do is say, cool, let's sell it to everybody else, right? We'll do it. We'll make one. Cool. ROG Ally 2, you want it? No problem. Here you go. We'll sell it to you too, right? Which is typical Microsoft fashion, right? But the beauty is they'll give you that interface first. They'll give you the best version of it. It'll auto update with Windows Update. You don't have to go in and manually install drivers. You don't have to worry about any of that crap, right? It'll work like your Xbox. System update on, Patch Tuesday. Here it is. You get all the updates in one shot. It just goes and does it. You want somebody else's? No problem. We'll give it to them. You can have an MSI. You can have a, Lenovo. You can have Aya Neo, whatever you want. You can have a ROG Ally, whatever number. Fair enough, right? They're happy with all the competition, right? That's what they do. They have the Surface line, and that's what this will be. It'll be a Surface, whatever console, whatever you want to call it. And that's what but the magic isn't the hardware, it's the software. So I think it's going to be Windows, because that just makes sense. And it's going to be Windows enhanced to finally do what they should have done. Bring the freaking console interface over to Windows and allow the user to choose, I want to go to console interface, and it just feels like your Xbox. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So, and that eliminates the whole problem of it feels like Windows instead of, hey, it literally is an Xbox just running Windows underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Which, by the way,
merge
your
it
Xbox does.
seamlessly.
So
You don't think that they would, so you don't think that they should make a handheld that is less PC, more just straight console type scenario?
I think that
just
is
for
the way
them,
to do
not
it,
something
right?
they're spreading.
Because I don't know if you realize, but like the Xbox, it does have its own hypervisor, like a base level kernel, but then it boots up a Windows, and then it boots up an Xbox, and then it has a little UI thing, right? So it's running Windows. It already is running Windows, right? It's just change the order. You have Windows, and then you have the console OS on top. Yeah, the console UI, sorry, on top of it, right? That's really all they need to do. It eliminates the compatibility headache, though, right? Because if you tell any game publisher, let's add a few more SKUs, they're going to get annoyed. So, because then are you certifying every game for every one of those SKUs, right? As we already had with Baldur's Gate, like, it doesn't work on the Series S, and then all the drama that came with that, right? It just meant they had to do the work to make it work on the Series S, which ultimately helped every one of the versions out there, right? Because it made them tune it so that everybody else could get better performance as well. But it's just more work, especially if you're a smaller team. They don't want to do it. And so when you're doing it on PC, it's just the beauty is it just usually auto detects, says, okay, well, this is what I think you can run. I'm just going to run it that way and done. Right. And most people wouldn't care. They'll just let it roll and go with it. Right. So I think that's the thing to do. They could even work with most of the, the game publishers out there. Hey, if you're going to put it on PC, here's a published spec of our handheld. You can run to that spec if you want to. These are kind of the things we recommend. But, do the auto detect if you like. Whatever you want. It's PC. Do whatever you like, right? But you could just say, here's what we think you can get out of the game. Here you go, right? So I think that's the path to go. The cool thing with Microsoft is any of their games, you get entitlement on both anyway. Anything in Game Pass, you get entitlement on both anyway. So it's kind of moot for their games. They need to work with the other vendors to figure out their stores. Sadly, that does mean that if you bought a third-party game on Xbox, you may not have it on PC. But you have to kind of give in to that one, whether it's viable or not for them to say, hey, would it be possible to take entitlement of Xbox-owned games and bring them to PC? I think a lot of publishers are balked because they want that double dip. So we'll see if that's viable. The other
so then wouldn't that be the reason why
matter.
Well, that's true. That's true. But wouldn't that also be the reason why Xbox might just want to just literally make a console that they are just like a Series X?
So in other words,
and
don't
Series
have
handheld.
a physical normal standalone console. Just have a Switch, right, as their next.
Like just
like a hybrid.
yeah, like if they just went
both.
hybrid on it.
Like yeah,
and get away from the PC nature of it and just literally make it console, just like you have when you plug it into
so
your TV,
you would give up
take
the
it out,
power narrative
console.
if you did that, right? There's just no way around it, right? Because the problem with the portable is
software.
It's not just software, it's the battery life to power that you can have, right? You can't run. Why is the Switch so low powered? Is because they need to be able to run it for at least 4 or 5 hours on battery. Well, that means you're not going to have a lot of performance, right? That's just the way it is. And you can only scale so much in your APU to say, I'm going to shut down this much so that it runs, on battery mode versus in full mode. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't quite like it. I would rather have the optimized, very cool, very powerful box if you're going to have me buy a console, right? What I want really is to say, I don't need my PC anymore. Give me a console that's so powerful that I say, I don't need the PC because like everything runs here at like 100 plus frames and it's running with path tracing. Cool, right? 1440 or higher, I'm good. That's fine, right? So if they do that, then but if you're gonna go with the portable thing, you're gonna get the Switch too, which cool with DLSS, it might get to 1440, 60 with ray tracing, maybe, right? That's the thing I run into is like, well, I don't want that power like diminishing, right? They already have the most powerful console. It's gonna get way hurt if you decide that that's a portable. So I'm not sure. So then you could have this like triple SKU where you have a lower end device like the S that's docked undocked, and then you have the high end SKU that's the full power. But you are looking at very different things at that point, right? So because one of the cool things with the the S and the X is that the CPU is pretty much on par, right? It's really just GPU scale. And that and with that is the memory, because you don't need to have high-end assets as far as like the graphical fidelity, so they bump the memory down. I don't know. That's just I like it being Windows. It's just easier and cleaner, and that way they can give that technology to others. And that's the part that I think will be sellable. If you make a console, it's just a console, right? What are they going to sell to somebody else? Like Microsoft always looks for, how do I take the technology that you're creating and how do I package it up and sell it to other companies, right? So it's great for Xbox to go invent something, and then Microsoft proper will say, cool, let me sell that. Just like Satya went over to Sony and said, hey, we invented these cloud gaming systems, right? Would you like to do cloud gaming? Sure. And they sign a deal, right? And PlayStation can use the same technology that Microsoft created, right? They never ended up using it, but right, that's what they like to do, is like, hey, we will create technology for our stuff and then package it up and sell it. We'll just sell it to you. You can use it too, right? So I think the Windows one it naturally works, right? If you're going to make Windows work as a console OS, that you can sell that to anybody, right? And they'll happily bundle it up and sell it to MSI and Lenovo and Asus, and they'll be happy to sell it to anybody. I think that's the path they'd be looking for. So it's just my thought. That's where I think they'd go.
But shouldn't Xbox? So if Xbox made a handheld that was only Xbox, meaning it didn't have all the background shit that PC has happening at all times, right?
No, that's part of it, right? That's what you do with it. You just say, I have a Windows mode, just like, I don't know if you've played around with Windows, but Windows Server has a low usage mode where they eliminate the GUI altogether. They just basically give you the basic Windows. It takes away all the extra garbage, right? So that you can just run the server OS and your application on top of it, right? So it takes away any garbage there that you have to patch and all that stuff is just gone. That's what they would do here, like basic Windows. And on top of that, you would layer on the Xbox UI, right? And that's all you would need. You would just need enough for DirectX to work, and you'd need enough for the UI for Xbox to come on there. So yeah, all that bloat would be gone. It just wouldn't be there. That's what you would want to do, right? So they just have to work through that. They already have it. They have the tech. Yeah. They just have to combine it, right, and make it work.
Yeah,
so
then don't they have like a Windows mini mode or something like that that's kind of along that, but minus the store? Like that's, I think, the probably the weakest part on that right now.
Yeah, that's it. They have the option to do all of that, right? So it's right there. So it's really just put it together, right? It's just work, and somebody just has to go do the work, right? And Microsoft certainly knows how to write software, so I'm sure they'll figure that piece out.
What does that mean for this rumor? Well, hold on. Let me get real quick before I go further on. Elite, I know you have some bars you want, and I know you got to get going soon. What's your?
Cheers. No, I agree with what Hargeek says. I mean, we've seen the success of the Xbox Series Slim. It's flying off shelves quicker than the Xbox Series X. So I think they need to capitalize on that. But yeah, just go smaller and just go portable. I think that's the best option. So then you got the option then ultimately of power or versus portability then. And yeah, just I think they need to go with I would say go with 1080p 120 FPS if possible. You know, so I don't think it has to be a graphical masterpiece, but I think the FPS needs to be it needs to be locked. You need to lock it down. And yeah, and it needs to be across the board. You can play every game on it. accessible everyone. The Windows thing, yeah, it just needs to be easy to develop for. You can just pick up a game, and go boom, 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 and just drop them in there. And I think that will sell like massive hotcakes. And then I don't think Sony can compete with hardware wise with something like that, because I think they're just too. I don't know. They're just no good at stuff like that. I mean, look at the Vita. They just tried to capitalize on the exclusivity too much and the money side of things too much. They continue want to gatekeep stuff and lock stuff down and just be weird about stuff. I mean, with the PS5, where the way they didn't want to do the have backwards compatibility on it, but they want to sort of charge you backwards compatibility via PS Plus, which is basically what that is now. They're just too slow, and I think just opening this up, the portable, and just giving that freedom to people just to play their games on the go, that they could play at home but anywhere, and just as a good quality, 1080p, 120 locked, or even 60 FPS locked, and that would just be the perfect device, I think. And it would even, it would give Nintendo even run for their money, I think. Especially if you're seeing top quality games on it, rather than, not to knock Hargeek, not to knock Mario's and Zeldas, but if you're playing Call of Duty on a train, or just walking down the street, it'd be a fantastic device.
I think they need to look at everything that Nintendo has done right with it, because they did get rid of the DS, and they need to look at everything that PlayStation has done wrong with their freaking portable, and kind of come up with something that works. I do love your idea, C, about going ahead and having the X, and then when you undock it, you go ahead and you get that S. I do not feel like they should do a separate situation. We're going back in time, you know what I mean? Like, we're going back to like when they had everything separate for Nintendo and again and PlayStation. And so I just feel like we need to have seamless situations taking place where it's easy to access, just on the go, and that's the way to freaking go.
And I'll say, why just Xbox games as well? You might as well open up to the mobile game market. Put mobile games on it. Put your Candy Crush on it.
Xbox
Candy
and
Crush.
Android.
Throw Candy Crush on it.
I mean, if you go with Windows, by the way, you have the Android subsystem, so it can literally run all the Android stuff.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Because then you're reaching a much bigger market. Then you'd be competing then against directly with mobile. We're not
they would have to make it that simple.
Yeah,
they would have to make it that simple to use it. Because I gotta tell you, like I have the ROG Ally. Like I said, Steam Deck, I think was like a great system because of the way that they do their UI and how it just works, and you just get in there. It's very console like
UI, man. It's the UI,
right? Like that's the magic. Because then you go into ROG Ally and it's like, okay, I love the flexibility of doing all this stuff and going into all these stores, but it's not super simple, right? Like they have their ROG Armory or whatever that kind of helps.
It's okay.
it's a pain in
but then,
I mean,
like,
compared to nothing, it's
the
good.
Driver updates and the BIOS updates. I just turned mine on after several months, and I'm like, I was inundated with a number of patches and firmware updates and driver updates. I'm like, good God, it was like 2 hours of updating. It's like that's what needs to be streamlined.
Yeah, it's too much, man. It just needs to be like the console. Like just let me turn it on. It turns on. I just go through my normal menus that I normally do, and that's it. I'm done, and it's over, and I'll be happy.
Let's also not forget that Phil did say we're not looking to get in that space. We're not looking to go ahead and like, get into the handheld situation. There are plenty out there that are really good, right? So back to what you said, see, going ahead and making it seamless, and it's kind of like it's still the console, right? I'm just able to move it and pick it up. I mean, that is the way to kind of make sense and say, look, we did do a freaking handheld, but we just didn't do a handheld. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If they do make it where it is just an extension of your console, then you're essentially making it just another SKU of it. But it would have to be at the very see, that's the thing. Next gen versus now, right? If they try to do something now, it would have to be it would just have to be an Xbox Series S. Like it would have to be something that is the
Why
Series
would you want that lower power?
No. If it came out now, I don't think, because he said he doesn't want to battle with these handhelds right now. But if you release it as just a SKU, then you just make it where it's equal to Series S so that when the games that are made just work, right? Like there's not a third
Hand in hand
SKU
type
that
of
they have
thing.
to kind of deal with. But you do next gen, and now if you do it where you make the console Switch like, you're in a different situation. You know what I'm saying? Where you can
Yeah,
actually,
I don't know. I'd rather they just concentrate on a real console.
I mean, I want them to, but I'm just afraid of them not coming through with it the way that we want it. I want it seamless. But before we go further, the Elite Gaming Guru, my homie, got to get going. Bro, appreciate you, man. Thank you so
Thank you for
much
rocking
for
with
being
us,
here,
baby.
homie. I know you literally just came from your show before you came here. So tell
No, I
everybody
love
where
coming
to
on. I love
find
being
you.
here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.
Let everybody know where to find you, man.
Right.
And
Okay.
when you have your show.
I'm gonna move this camera so I can't see. I've minimized my screen. I'll maximize it. There it goes. Right. So you can find me on Twitter under Elite Gaming Guru. It's spelled Elite Gaming and then Uru. There's no double G. And you can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Elite Gaming Guru, spelled normally. And we've got the Gamers News podcast that runs at 4:30 EST every Friday. So sort of just before the show.
EST.
4:30, yeah. 4:30 EST just before the show. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Yeah, appreciate all the support, all the love, and I love coming here. You're great sort of little
We
panel.
love
I love it,
having
and
you.
yeah, this is great. And also, where's he gone? Farq said about his stand up another hour. The thing is, I don't know if you guys know, my cat died today.
What?
And I featured on your show last week, I think. My cat.
Oh,
Aw.
you just had the cat. You just had him on
Wait.
you last show.
I think he featured in the show during the week. Yeah, and I lifted it up. Yeah, he died this
Wednesday.
morning. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Elite. I'm
yeah,
so
bro.
sorry
Sorry
to
to
hear
hear
that,
that, man.
bro.
He wasn't well. Yeah, and we took him to the vets, and he had kidney failure, and had to put him down. Unfortunately, because they said he's just not good at all. Yeah, so they put him down. So I had that this morning.
Sucks
So
to hear, man.
yeah,
Elite,
so
I'm so sorry, bro.
that's actually on the show I've done a little we've done a 30-second silence, and I've done a little montage of him. So just send it to you, CMoney.
Yeah,
But
man, send it,
yeah.
bro. Man, that's
I'll send it
fucked
to you in your
up.
chat.
Well, at least we got to see him on the
Yeah,
last
so I've got
show,
to go
man.
to the vets
Yeah,
tomorrow
right.
and see. I know I've got to go to the vets tomorrow and pick him up and stuff. And bit
Oh,
annoying.
man.
Yeah, so it wasn't a good day.
Sorry
I'm
to hear that,
sorry,
bro.
Elite. We love you.
Well, thanks for coming, man.
Thank you for
We're sorry
rocking
that
with
that
us.
happened.
Thank you very much.
But,
Appreciate you all. Appreciate you both.
We'll have you back soon, man.
And
Appreciate
hope
you,
you have me
homie.
back soon.
Absolutely,
Thank you,
bro.
guys. Thank you for having
Absolutely.
me. And peace out. Keep gaming. Yeah.
Keep
Yes.
gaming, baby. Thanks,
Later,
brother.
Elite.
Appreciate you. Look at the dance moves. He ain't fucking around.
Oh, no, isn't it?
All right, homie.
I'm out of here.
Peace, bro.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, shout out to the Elite Gaming Guru.
Oh,
That's the homie. Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. All right. So yeah, so I guess with this hardware, I think we're settled on the idea that we do want it as streamlined as possible. We got the homie Ryu R Gaming in the building.
what's up, baby?
Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Says, give us a weak
Thank you, baby.
hybrid like the Switch 2 and a great Xbox Next X. So I guess okay. So let me make it. I want to fucking know plain and simple. What do you guys think? Should it be the Switch, just Xbox and powerful, or
But that's not
console
possible.
Separate.
and handheld?
But that's not possible, right? Because if that was possible,
Well, the
you think
handheld
Nvidia's
won't be
sitting there saying, we want to make it slow. We don't like power.
No,
We have
no,
the
no. But I'm not saying
4090,
the
dude.
handheld portion. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the console being, the normal powerful console, and then but it's all one package. Yay or nay? You know what I'm
It's not
saying? Like, are
possible.
we?
That's the
No.
problem. It's just
No.
not possible. If it
But
could be
even if
done,
it's
it'd
not
already
that
be
you
done.
put it in, isn't it like a eGPU, right? Like if you just take the
Yeah,
less
and
powerful hard, and then
the eGPU exists for the ROG, right? You could buy it. It's $2,000 to get you a 4090. That's all they offer.
well, that's because like 100 people are gonna buy it. Xbox is counting on
I
millions
mean,
of
the
people. buying
4090 is
stuff.
1,600.
But that's because they're gouging you because they know it's the best in the business, and they know suckers like me are gonna go buy that shit.
But it is what it is, right?
So
So
he's aware.
It
He's
is a
not
sucker
alone.
move. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, he did it too. Yeah. We're in the same boat.
But this
We're
is
in
the
same
thing,
boat.
right? So if it was doable, it would have been done. It's just not. If you're going to be portable, you have to give up on power. That's just not an option. That's always the
You mean
problem,
in the
right?
handheld? But the when it's docked, it doesn't have to give up on power.
But then you're looking at a lot of cost, right? Because the whole point of a console is it's all APU based, and that APU then suddenly is not the APU. It's a mini APU, and then it has to be have a very high bandwidth connection to something else, and that becomes much more expensive. I don't know that that's viable unless you want to pay like $1,500 for the console. I just don't. It's not viable.
I mean, okay. So let me ask
But
you.
I want it.
I know, right?
So
You and the 10
but
others, right?
Then what does this mean for the supposed fucking PlayStation handheld? Like, we know they don't know how to do jack shit. So how are they going to come out with a new handheld that's supposed to be worth
It'd be
anything?
the same broken thing that you had before with like the Vita, right? It's going to be its own ecosystem. I just don't see how they would match the. They already have
You're
made a
saying it
big
has to
deal.
exist as its own.
It would have to. Like Microsoft has the beauty of saying we can just do Windows. They don't have to worry about it because Windows is theirs. It's like fine, right? So they can do whatever they want with Windows, right? That's where they win this battle, pun intended. But for PlayStation, unfortunately, they're stuck. They have to make their own. It's much like Valve, right? They don't own Windows. That's why they have the Linux-based Steam Deck, right? Which gives you some headaches. It's not fully compatible with everything. People have to like make their games work on the lower power thing that they have. It is what it is, right? So, yeah, I don't know. This is to me, it's easier to just go with Windows and fix it. It's all software.
Listen,
I think PlayStation's best hope
But
is
I
if they
want
made like a portable
I know, right?
PS4, and the only thing I can think of is that it winds up being like it doubles as a portal where the PS5 stuff would be streamable, but it would be PS4 native. That could work, but then again, that seems like a step backwards at that point.
I mean, it's not bad. The PS4 Pro, for instance, would that be terrible? It's pretty good, right? It's pretty much a Series S
make
level.
the games for it. Like,
right?
that's my thing. I cannot imagine a world where they try to sell me a fucking handheld that I also have to buy games separately for. Like, I won't do it. They can go suck a dick. It's not gonna be me. I'm
A
not doing
pickle?
it, bro.
A pickle.
A pickle.
Pickle.
I'll suck a pickle. My bad. Took it too far. Yes, but I can't mess with it, yo. Like, it has to be the same ecosystem. And damn it, if Nintendo could do it in 2017, Nintendo
It wasn't
of
the same ecosystem though. It didn't take any of the old stuff. It didn't take any of the portable stuff, right? It was brand new. You had to buy everything from scratch.
Yes, no, but what I'm saying is that, okay, I understand what you're saying. You're saying that they had to delete the rest, but they've never made that the way going forward, no matter what, whether it was a regular console or a handheld. When you bought the new system, you had to buy new
your
games.
DS just continued onwards, right? I could play my older DS games on my new ones. I could
Well,
play
the handhelds did it.
and then the GameCube to Wii, you could play the GameCube games in the Wii.
Only in the beginning, though. When they changed the model, they dropped the.
I didn't know they took the model. But then the Wii U could also play the Wii games, right? So they did kind of keep compatibility there for a little bit, but yeah.
God damn it, Nintendo! Don't fuck us up,
Only
man.
Nintendo.
Come on,
You're saying
Xbox can
if
do
those
it.
flower sniffers were able to figure it out, Phil should be able to figure it out too.
Exactly, bro. Like, come on. Like, listen, when you think about, all right, this is what I look at. I have the G Cloud. Okay.
Yep.
There's hardware in there. It can run Android native stuff, right? So I can play local Android stuff, but then I could stream everything, right? So if we're getting into this world where Xbox is planning to go ahead and make this hybrid console that has, cloud capability to help it beef up its specs or whatever the case is, right? I want that motherfucking handheld to do the same thing. I want to be able to take it out, still connected to the cloud, right? I'm still online, right? And play my games, and I'm good. If I have to not be connected to the cloud, then I just, I'm SOL. Okay, I don't care. Make it an online only situation. I gotta be connected to the cloud on a handheld. I don't care. I just want to be able to use that shit and play high quality. And I want the same stuff. I just want to be able to download the same games I already have, not a special version and not a shitty version. Is that too much to ask?
And then add your own design and have them like put your name on it and everything else.
Can you imagine if
So
they
that would
made
be
that
pretty
like
dope, like how
I
they
mean,
do
that
with
they
the
could already do the
controllers.
surface, right?
See?
But look, I don't
saying.
know that. Why not the Windows side of it? What's the headache there? It's just the library. Is that the main headache?
Well, the literal reason why I have the ROG Ally, I have the Steam Deck, and 9 out of 10 times I just play on my G Cloud with GeForce Now because it's easy, it's streamlined, and it's better. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to download updates. Like I don't even remember the last time I had an update on the
Right, but say
G
that's
Cloud.
gone, right? That part of
Okay.
it's not there anymore.
But
What's
it
the
would,
issue?
but meaning it would literally have to be where I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it would be
Well,
just
you'd
turning
have to
on my
keep it on, right? Unfortunately, that's another problem with like portables is people usually turn it off and put it away. But if you
See,
kept it
they have to do
on,
it like the Switch. They have to make it where I could click the button, it goes to sleep right where you are.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but it has to be online to be able to do like a nightly update, for instance, right? Right, but like they could easily bundle everything into Patch Tuesday, right? Just like they do with the console. That's not they can figure that out. I don't think that's a problem, right? So the update part of it, they can streamline that piece. If that goes away, then what's the issue? Is it just the back catalog?
I guess the catalog, yeah. I want to be able to play any one of my Xbox games because chances are, realistically speaking, like that's my best chance of playing those back compat games. When
Yeah.
I'm somewhere random and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna play anything serious that I'm really playing. So let me play this
So
thing. Like that's what I want. That would be the
is it
purpose.
viable to do? Yes, right? They could. It's all licensing. This is the headache, right? The way you do the back compat on the consoles right now is they bring up a virtual machine and then they run the game in it. Could they do that on Windows? Of course they could, right? So could they do the same thing on their portable and say, we're going to boot up an Xbox One mode and literally give you your Xbox One catalog? The problem isn't that they could do that. The problem is, will the third-party publishers be okay with them doing that? And it's always been the headache, right? So if they can pull that off,
anything,
what was that?
if they say it, can they even say anything? If Xbox
Yes.
just says, "Hey, we're
Yes.
taking the
Yeah.
same,"
Yes,
SKU,
because
we're just
most
putting
of
it in a
those
handheld, they're gonna bitch
legalese
about it?
we will put it on an
Okay.
Xbox console, right? And once you say we're going past the Xbox console, like this is why they couldn't bring backwards compatibility to a lot of games, was the legalese was it will be on the Xbox 360. It will be on the original Xbox, and that's it, right? And once you say, hey, I want to try to bring this forward to another console, you have to go back to that publisher or developer and say, can I do that? Can we amend the agreement? And if they say yes, sure. In some cases, it would say go to hell, and then you can't do anything, right? And that did literally happen, right? We're hoping with ABK, because they were one of the ones that were kind of meh, right? And so hopefully what this means is they will say, well, we own it now, too bad, everything's coming into backwards compatibility, right? Because some of them they did allow it. Some of them they're like, no way, right? And so you just kind of play with it. And some of it is external licensing. Let's say the Marvel games that Activision had. Right, so that would be a third party. Disney has to say yes, plus Activision has to say yes, and then you could go do it. Right, this is the headache they run into, and that's why it becomes a problem when you say I'm going to move it over to another device. So could it be done? 100%, it can be done. Technology-wise, they can do it. Right, they could easily do that. They could boot up 360, give you all the 360 games. They could boot up, and they could bring the entire Xbox store over and say you have entitlement to everything you have on Xbox, as long as the third party say yes. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
So you're also thinking that the dollars have something to do with it, right? Like they could theoretically do what I'm asking, but it's going to cost a lot more money to do it. So what if because we kind of, I think we looked at the scenario maybe backwards, right? Because I had initially thought maybe give us a big console that's more money and then do like the Series S hybrid version. But what if you flip it and they give you, their new console, there's only one SKU this time, right? As far as the actual model of the console, right? You got one that's base and then one that is the version that comes with the handheld, and it's just $300 or $400 more. So let's say it's $500 for the next gen console by itself, but for $800 or $900 you're getting that handheld second situation. Would
And
that
that's a
be
second
more
SKU, right? That's
feasible?
all you're saying. It's a second SKU, right? And so like the Series S, you have the Series S and so I guess a portable and the high end.
Yeah, but there'll be no power difference to the actual console.
What do you
Just
mean?
the handheld. Just the handheld will come out and do it. So basically selling you the dock with and without a handheld. The dock would just plug into the TV and be a normal normal console. But then when you buy the more expensive one, you get the handheld.
And what would the handheld be? It would still be a lower powered version.
It would.
Right.
God damn it. You're right.
This is what Hargeet's saying to you. See.
All right, I'm just trying to find a way. God,
I know he
damn
just
it.
wants some hope. Give him what he
Just fucking
wants.
say yes, I
Just-
think it's possible. Oh, thank you. I can sleep better now.
I mean,
No, I
anything
don't
is
know.
possible, right? Anything is possible. You could make a Switch level thing. You could make a Rogue Ally level thing, right? And say this is a new Xbox SKU. Fair enough, right? But then you're asking developers to optimize for that new SKU, right? And are they going to be happy with 3 SKUs in the current gen, or say 2 SKUs in the next gen, where it's one portable, one full on? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like next gen. By the way, we're probably looking at something that's way more powerful than what we have now for our portables. But yeah, again, I don't know what that looks like.
All right. Well, I guess my dream is not confirmable right now. Okay, so we're gonna move on because I'm just gonna get
Not
sad.
confirmable.
Not confirmable, right? So just gonna move on. But we're gonna get William Lewis in here to cheer us up a little bit. Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says they can go lickle a pickle. That is the type of shit that I want to get. Oh my god!
Wow!
Thank you, baby.
Oh my god! Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Oh mother freaking shit. The homie Carlos Alvarado. What is good, fam?
Feliz viernes.
Oh yes, Carlos. Thank you for saying this. I literally forgot. Number one, thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for that $2 super chat. He says, Phil, he liked Jess Corden's tweet on Xbox's handheld, which confirms that it's happening, which confirms that I'm getting a hybrid the exact way I wanted. I know it. Phil's the shit. God damn it. I knew it. Phil listens. Thank you, Phil.
you, Carlos.
Surface
You
Division
out of that
and
mood.
Xbox in the same place? Don't they report into the same area? I think they do, right? Surface and
Surface falls under them now, I think.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, you can do it.
And Surface makes Windows devices. Just saying.
We saw that schematic where it was like a tablet with removable Joy-Cons not too long ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
CMoney finding hope again.
Just give me a reason. Just a little bit's enough. You know what I'm saying? just need a little bit.
The MSI Claw does that too, right? The Claw you can take the side joystick thingies off, right? Same thing.
Yeah, and then put it on the.
I can't remember if it was the Claw. I know the Legion does.
Somebody
did.
Maybe it was the
Lenovo.
It was the Lenovo.
Lenovo has
the Lenovo.
Yeah, then you can use it as a
the Lenovo
like a joystick or a mouse, whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen,
he's gonna sleep good tonight.
My dreams are a little crushed, but a little bit of hope, just like my normal situation.
I mean, who knows what happens, right?
We'll see. We need some leaks. Somebody need to leak it so we can feel better about
That's
it.
what we need.
That's what we need.
Okay.
We just need Phil to come on a podcast or something and look at his shelf to see if he has something that looks like a Switch, but not a Switch.
Yes.
That's what we need.
See, Fuzzy knows.
Surface Gray, right?
He's looking for clues like a good detective should, right? Phil, listen, he has those Easter eggs out there.
He does. He does.
Or keep looking like the fuck is he talking about? I saw it too, Twittery. Okay, I saw the face. That's what got me all flustered. I was like, what am I saying?
Yeah.
It can't be that stupid. Hopefully. Oh, mother hell. All right, we're gonna see. Listen, Fun Speculation said it. They got to get that UI down. Listen, I don't care
that's what
how
it is.
They do it. I don't care what's the back end. I don't care anything. I just want the UI, and I want to play every single game I own on Xbox that I can currently play on my Series X or S now. That's it. That's the only two criteria. Whatever fucking magic they got to do in the background to make that happen, That's on them. All right. I want to Disneyfy this shit. I want it to be like Disney. I don't want to know the magic. I don't care. Just want to experience it as if it were magic. That's all. That's it. Make me believe in magic again, Phil. Pause. Not that way.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying?
Really? BG3 style, bro?
No,
What's
man, I'm
going
saying
on?
like not that
What's going
because
on? We're
of
done with this
BG3.
magic shit.
No, BG3 made me afraid of magic. So now I want to be free.
He wants to love magic again. Phil, make it happen. By the way, Fuzzy, look. Fuzzy's an insider. All right, right you are. Fuzzy is our insider. Let's go.
Razor said that's only the toughest Xbots are left standing in this episode. Oh my god. That's amazing.
You guys are awesome.
Bab says, doesn't matter how powerful, etc. a device like that is. If it ain't simple and streamlined, it won't take off as a dedicated gaming device.
Absolutely.
Facts. Facts. Listen, and just do it with like a simple, like if you know what? If I'm not online, I want to still be able to use it. But then if I'm online, I get all the bells and whistles from the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you do it. Make it low powered as a standard handheld, but when I'm online, that motherfucker looks beautiful. Fair. I take
Fair
a
enough.
deal.
Yeah,
Deal.
he made a deal, guys.
No
It's
more.
happening.
No more is done.
Listen, Get Off the Pickle has something to say.
Get Off the Pickle says, wait, what? You better not be talking about Magic Stick. No, I didn't say Magic Stick, not once, okay? You're talking about the Magic
You just
Stick. Do you
did.
like Magic Stick, Jay? What about sticks? No Magic Sticks, okay? There's only one Magic Stick allowed, and it's mine, okay? That's
Your
it.
own? What?
That's it. It's my Magic Stick, okay? There's the only one that exists
you
in this
play with?
household.
That's the only magic stick you play with.
All right, so stop this shit. God damn it.
It's a 50
What is
cent song.
happening?
Oh, wow. And for that,
I don't know what has happened. I don't know what's going on. You guys are going off the rail.
You
Oh
guys
my
are
god, the
wild.
blue balls are back.
Here comes the blue balls.
The blue balls are back in the building. Oh my god.
Gotta pack the blue balls, baby.
Gotta catch them all.
Oh Jesus. This is amazing. You hear got the pickle. You keep saying Magic Stick. You have a problem. See what I'm trying to defend myself here. This is how they get you. You see how they get this? How the man
The magic
gets you.
stick and the blue balls. We have a situation going on over here.
Too much information.
Oh my god.
Oh, what's happening here? All right, let's fucking move on, man. Okay, let's move on. This is listen, we've talked about this, but it's been out there, and you know, we made a video on the reactions of one of the ponies and all this fun shit. So now that we've had some time, you know what I'm saying? Few days have passed, the dust has settled. Hocus pocus, CMoney. Look at this shit. You see this shit? Always.
Is that why you like that movie?
That's fucked up. I do like that movie. I do like that movie a lot. You put me in a bad situation with answering that question, dude. Why? There's no reason. All right, listen. The dust is settled. Okay, dust is settled. Let's let the dust settle.
Wait, no.
Oh my god. Why?
he forgot to put the word magic night. Anyway,
Oh my god. You ranks funny about to change the name of the show to the night stick.
wow.
What the fuck, dude? Oh, so let's take a break from Persona 3 for a few minutes and I come back to Magic Stick.
The magic stick is back, baby.
Oh my god, y'all wildin', yo. I got the Magic Stick, shorty. Don't believe he come with me tonight. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my
How did
God.
we get here, Razor Ultron? I asked myself this question. How did we get here? Nobody
Oh
knows.
my god.
But now that the dust have settled, nice stick. Let's talk magic. What the fuck, man? Oh my god! All right, dust
That's
settled.
gonna be a special episode.
Listen.
Night
Listen.
shift after dark.
God damn it! Okay, listen. We seen the shit show that was the state of play. Now that the dust have settled and you've gotten to see all of the reactions out there, not really. Well, Harky, have you seen reactions? You don't go on Twitter, so have you seen these reactions, or are you just living your best
Have
life,
you
not
heard the
knowing
mess?
the trauma that's happening out there? I guess so.
So, I mean, who are you asking?
Well, I was asking you, did you hear?
Me?
Like, have you? Because
I
the
mean,
last few days, has anything happened in what you see that has made you, you know, I don't know, feel differently about the show, or have more insight on the show, or anything like that?
feel differently about it? No. I found some amusing things from certain content creators, but beyond that, and I don't like to go after people, so I'm not going to name names. But shout out to Turboverse TV. He puts out all these reactions to Twitter stuff, right? So I get to see some things from his videos, which are
Okay.
rather amusing. But yeah, beyond that, that's basically what I've seen. So some of the PlayStation fans are like, "It's a 10 out of 10." Some are like, "What the hell just happened?" And it's just kind of the way it is, right? So that's basically what I saw. Has it changed my mind on anything? No, but it's kind of the way it is, I guess.
Has it changed your mind on the, like, okay, when you obviously for yourself, you look at it and see what it is, right? But when you see these people who are out here trying to say that this thing's a 10 out of 10, Dreamcast guys, that is perfect, right? All these what's his name? We just did a video on him, Reforge,
Yes.
out here saying that this was a flex.
Oh,
This was a
yes. They
flex,
were
guys.
flexing. That's
That having no first party. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Having no first party games at the show was a flex. A flex. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
What's
I
in
mean,
his coffee?
he got some fucked up shit in his coffee.
I mean,
Can't buy that shit.
Again, I don't like to go after people, but a lot of the things that person has said has been just inflammatory and stupid, right? So, I does it surprise me he said that? No, and nah. I what do you say to those kind of people that he's doing things, I think, just to get engagement, and more power to you, right? Fine. If it works for you and you make money.
10 out of 10 make you take a second look at the mess that we saw?
No, I mean, I watched it again just to get the 4K version, right? Because the stream was terrible quality, right?
It was.
So, and I'm watching it, I'm like, nothing's really changed here. I got a clearer picture of what Judas, that's the Kevin Levine, right? The Ken Levine, right? The BioShock guy. And yeah, I'm like, this just looks like BioShock, the next
It literally is BioShock
revision, right? So it looks really cool to me. I like BioShock, but I'm sure some of the the folks on that side don't like the graphics or something. Fine, good for them. I don't care. But to me, it looks good enough. I just want the story. So, and the gameplay looks very BioShock-like to me. So, good enough for me. The other game that was cool was Dragon's Dogma. Again, it looked good. And again, I saw some comments that they don't think it looks good. So, okay, whatever. I don't care. To me, it looks good. It happens to be multiplayer.
What? They said that Dragon's Dogma doesn't look good?
Yeah.
That's because it's the multiplat. So they want to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, it's not the Sad Dad Walking Simulator Decima engine stuff, right? So it doesn't look like Death Stranding 2, for instance, right? And okay, look, if that's all you're looking for, that's good. But I don't care. And that was the one that was like a snooze fest to me. I'm like, you're just showing me cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. How much gameplay did we see in that trailer? It's like maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't really care. Show me something that I can actually play, because what I played before, I didn't like. So unless it's drastically better, I have no interest in engaging with that game. So and then the last game they had was something that's going to come out in the 2030s, and I'm not being ridiculous about that. I'm just being realistic about it. It's going to be a while before that game comes out. We're in the year 2024. They haven't even released Death Stranding 2, which is coming out next year. Hopefully, it might even get delayed. And then you're looking at another 5-6 years easy. They have OD to make in between, right? So I'm like, there's no way that game comes out before the 2030s, right? So you're looking at 2031, 2, whatever it is. So I just don't care. Like, show me that game when it's closer. I don't like, okay, you show me that it's the Fizzent or something like that, right? When they zoomed out and they had like the Sony, you know, Columbia Studios thing, and they had the Fizzent thing or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the name of the game, whatever it is. I don't really care, but like that is so far away. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So what else was like? Silent Hill was a
name for a
total
game, by the
dud.
way.
What was that?
That name was garbage.
Yeah,
Fizzent.
Fizzent or whatever, it was something like that, right? And then
Yeah,
Silent Hill, both of them duds, right? Silent Hill, the message, or the message, something like that, whatever, that short game that just came out, Shadow Dropped, is a
Dude,
3.
it's getting destroyed.
Yeah, so not good.
Destroyed.
And Silent Hill 2 did not impress me in any way. Like you look at the Resident Evil remakes and you're like, okay, that looks interesting, even though I will not play them because I'm not a fan of it.
That's the problem when you compare them to other games. It's like shit, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't compare, right? So you have a AAA property given to a AA studio. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going against Bluebird. This is their capability. That's their caliber. But what were we expecting them to do, right? So did it change my mind? No. Stellar Yams is still Stellar Yams. It's just Nier Automata in a different suit. And, you know, Rise of the Ronin was the one that I've been interested in. And is it enough for me to say, oh my God, I got to play this? No. But, you know, if it's available on PC someday, I'll check it out. So that's basically been it. The rest of it is all multi-plats. So again, as a showcase for people who want to play games on their platform, I get it. It's cool. That's great. But, you know, if it's a showcase of what PlayStation is offering me because I don't have a PS5, it did nothing for me. So it was just not that good. So
does it excite you to know that Foam Stars is right around the corner?
no.
But you didn't love that presentation that they have for you? That didn't sell you on how it's going to dethrone Power World as the best first quarter exclusive?
It's not even Power World. That's supposed to be a Splatoon ripoff. And like, you think it's going to outsell any of the Splatoons?
No, absolutely not.
It's not going to sell.
So. It's not going to sell. Period. That's the end of the sentence.
Giving it away like PS Plus.
Sales.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, they're putting a PS Plus for a reason, right? They know they're not going to get any sales for this thing, right? The only way they get engagement is through PS Plus. And hopefully that gets them something. Hopefully some of those folks will actually download it. I don't know. Like, it's supposed to be a very short-term exclusivity. So hopefully if they put it on Nintendo or on Xbox, it'll actually get some engagement. PC might get some engagement, but I don't know.
That trash is coming to Xbox?
I would expect it to eventually come to Xbox. Like, look, Phil has been trying to get everything from them to come over, right? So if the exclusivity is 1 month, I would expect at some point it'll come to Xbox. And look, they probably put it in Game Pass and it might actually get more engagement. So, but hey, whatever.
You ain't wrong.
Again, there was just nothing that did any of it excite you guys. Did anything change for you guys?
No, not even a little bit. Real quick. Hold on. Before we answer that, we got to get the homie William Lewis. Thank you, my brother.
What's up, baby?
For being here. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the
Oh my God.
That says new Riddler
Thank
quote.
you, love.
Pickle me this, Batman. That's right.
Pickle me this, pickle me that.
Terrible.
That's hilarious. That's beautiful. Oh, the homies. Okay, so go ahead.
Guys, come on. Look,
Maybe a
math.
Stellar Blade Foam Stars crossover.
Crossover, baby.
Now you know that will sell on PlayStation.
That's it. That's where it's at.
That's the Pornhub edition.
The VIP.
That's what they watch after they play. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's the crossover.
Oh, the places you could go with that, but I'll just refrain.
All right. So go ahead. You were gonna say something.
I feel like I almost feel like it was worse than when I saw it. Like it's worse than I remember. And like that's tough because like even throughout the show as we were talking, I started forgetting what I saw. And it's like it's that memorable. It was that memorable. I feel like I was very nice to the ponies and they're out here talking shit. So they can, suck a pickle. Your show wasn't shit.
Very nice.
I was very nice. I was like, yo, these ponies are down.
She was very reserved. She didn't want to go so hard. And then they went ahead and started talking shit online, and that's why they unleashed Dark Doodle. There's no more
That's how it
BC. You
happens.
can't be nice. Every time you think you're gonna be nice, all they do is try to take advantage of that. So you might as well slap them up. Might as
Always.
well slap them up. All right, what about you, Fuzzy? What do you think now that the dust have settled? What do
It's
you feel
still
about
a
the show?
7 as a game showcase and a 6 as a PlayStation. Like, and that's being kind. I mean, the only real standout for me was Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, I've already seen better trailers for Starship Troopers, the game. This one, it
Yep.
seemed like they were trying to take a jab at Starfield with the whole mech thing. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't know, but that's a game where I'm glad they're releasing it day and date on PC. It's probably going to help that game. I don't see the interest over on the PlayStation side of things. Like, I don't hear people like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting it day one." Foamstar, same thing. It's like, yeah, they're putting it in PS Plus just like they did Destruction All Stars, and look what happened with that. Judas, I think the actual Summer Games Fest trailer showed better than what they showed. I mean, it was funny that they had the pony with a gun
Pony.
and you could shoot.
Yeah,
the-
I want a full game
horses.
just on that. Like just a
Green.
shit ton of ponies that you
Well, it
could
looks
go
like that's
at.
the game. You notice? I'm telling you. I tell you right now. If you didn't think this,
Yo.
understand this is the truth. Ken Levine is an Xbot. Okay, he took the bag from Sony. He put motherfucking ponies in the game. Gave them a trailer to show a pony getting disintegrated by a green
Green.
beam, baby. Ken Levine
All
is the
set.
ultimate Xbot, baby. He put these ponies in their place. He's like, what do we want to kill in our game? These motherfucking ponies.
Wow.
Boom. Gone.
Extinct.
It's
Tell
funny.
me I'm
Bioshock
wrong.
was
Show me.
a timed
Show me.
exclusive on Xbox, wasn't it?
It
Yes,
was.
yes,
Yeah.
It was. It was.
No, but Death Stranding looked
beautiful.
nice, but like after playing the first one where it was like a 14-minute cutscene, then hit X, and then it was an 8-minute cutscene on the back of that truck with the dead body, I was like, when do I get to play the game instead of watch the game? So I mean, maybe there's more action in the second one. I don't know, but it looked cool, but I don't know if I'm going to be willing to give it a chance, especially if I got to pay for it. Like if it comes to PC Game Pass, which I don't think it will, because I don't think 505 is involved this time. I'd
But
probably give it a try. But
was 505 involved in the beginning of the first one too?
it was, and that
Was
was
it?
why, since they published it to PC, that's how we got the whole Game Pass deal. Which
Right,
Was
but
it
it
like
wasn't originally,
wasn't
right? I
happy
think
about.
it was funded by PlayStation. It came out on PlayStation. The PC port was 2
Yeah.
years later, I think. Something like that. I think it was
Yeah,
a
the
2
PC
year
port
later.
came later, but I think
Yeah.
that was
So
funded by
theoretically-
505 or something.
Yeah, that was the 505
Unless-
partnership.
Unless Sony says we're putting it on PC day and date, right? And if they're just putting it on the console, the chances are that 505 could still step in later to put it on PC for them. I mean, the relationship
Or any other
is there.
publisher, for that matter. Any other publisher
Yeah.
could step
I
in.
have
But
a
maybe
feeling
Sony would be like,
Sony's
"Fuck
gonna
that.
try to
You
prevent
tricked
that.
us, 505. You didn't tell us you're gonna put that shit on Game Pass. Make us look like idiots out here in these streets."
Yeah,
But look,
I think
Death
it was
Stranding is
almost like
now
the
on
next day we heard
Mac
about
and-
PlayStation PC.
And iOS, right? Didn't it just come out on iOS?
Yeah, it just came to
Death
iOS.
Stranding, right?
the,
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
the
on
new
Mac
one,
and iOS
the
now.
Pro. Is it
Yeah, I
out
mean-
already or is it coming out?
I thought it came out. Did it not just come
Oh.
out? I think it just came out.
It should have been some point this week, like Wednesday or Thursday, I think, when it
Yeah.
came to the Apple, store or App Store.
But yeah, so I mean, like, look, if Kojima says no, I will not relinquish full rights to the game, then they could do that, right? So he can go
Yeah.
publish it with other people for different platforms. So nothing stops that from happening. And he did just make a game with Xbox. He could always work with them as well to
Mhm.
bring it out to other platforms. So we'll see. But like, I don't know. It's Kojima. It's hard for for Sony to hardball Kojima, right? So if Kojima is saying no, I'm going to keep the rights to it and I'm going to put it wherever I want, they're just going to deal
And
with
that's
it.
what's
It's
gonna
just
happen.
it's what it is.
I mean, as desperate as Herman Hulse sounded at the end of that, it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna make this espionage game for us. He's like, but it's a movie and a game. But it's a movie first and a game or interactive movie or something. It's
Yeah,
like
Herman kept
Herman
trying
Hulse
to
is
bring
like,
it
yeah,
back to it being a
we can get the
game.
bad.
Yeah.
Kojima's like,
Herman
nah,
Hulse almost
fam,
seemed like
it's
the
a
way
movie.
Square was with Phil
Yes.
on stage,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It was like,
Literally.
this
He- and-
is Kojima's son.
I wonder if it'll have a sad dad. There'd be a lot of walking.
I think he's taking it to the next level. He's going to remove the walking entirely, and you're just going to follow a sad dad who's on the screen and
Even
just
better,
press
it's a
buttons.
sad
with him.
granddad.
There you go. That's the next generation. You know, Kojima's always pushing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't rest. He got to take things to the next level. He's like, they're all doing sad dads. Nah. We're going granddad. Oh, granddad
They won't
indeed.
see
He
this
walks even
coming.
slower. He walks
Time
even
travel.
slower.
It's really his own grandson. And then
Yeah, it'd be
That's
like Benjamin Button's reverse time.
Benjamin Button in reverse.
Oh, no, but
That was great.
that
That was
show
great.
it didn't land as something for people outside of their ecosystem. I don't think. Like, I think if you're outside the ecosystem, I don't think there was anything making you line up to get a PlayStation. If you're in the
Yeah.
ecosystem, it's like, oh yeah, these are great. But I think even for once, I agree with Jaffe on something. It's like if they had something equivalent to Game Pass and those were coming day and date to Game Pass, then maybe the value of that show goes up, just for the fact that it's like some of those games you'd be on the fence for, you actually could give a try and not feel like you're out of pocket after you spent this money and, oh, this game was great for 4 hours with friends and now it kind of sucks in the end game or whatever. For like something like Helldivers 2, you know, you wouldn't feel as bad. It would be like an easier entry type of thing. But I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't what PlayStation should have showed as the beginning of the year showcase without having something either from their first party or something like super secret that would have been like game changing. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, well, here's
mind-blowing,
the
right?
most recent trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, which I don't even know if they, Rockstar doesn't need them to show their game, but that would have made that showcase a million times better. Or
Yeah.
and not to bring up the old conversation, Hi-Fi Rush being there would have made that showcase a million times better. Not for reasons to
For
me,
them.
but but for them, it probably would have helped it. But it didn't. So yeah, I just it's not. It was a good show for games, but PlayStation needs to show something. I guess maybe when they show Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or maybe when that PS5 Pro whatever comes out, we'll see. But for right now, they feel like they're off their game. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Very.
listen, for me with the show, it's been a couple days. Honestly, I feel like I had given it a 5, only because of Death Stranding. I would have given it a 4, had it not. But honestly, for me, when I sat here and I've kind of been simmering on it for the last couple days and looking at things again, I think I'm just gonna stick with the 4. I don't think the Death Stranding thing was as big as a bump. I feel like it only gave it a bump because while watching the show, it was like, oh shit, okay, here's something different, like something that could possibly be interesting. But when I sit back and take myself out of the just catching me off guard with it and just seeing what I saw, if you really watch the damn thing, it just looks like Death Stranding 1. Just now in a different place, and they showed you snapshots of different environments and, but outside of that, it didn't really look like it was gonna be much of a different game. The only thing they showed us him doing was running across this, like, bridge and running across random places, but it was like, where was the cool new gameplay of it, right? It didn't really look it for me. I don't know. It didn't hit the same way when I watched it back. So I'm going actually back to a 4. It's a 4 for me.
Especially
Um,
when you think of everything else that's coming out, right?
yeah,
Over on
it
Xbox, and you're like, holy crap. Like, yeah, for them, it's like, okay. But
Yeah,
the
like I'm
world we
literally
live
not
in
playing any of
today and
them.
what we're expecting and where our standards are, it's like shit, man. This is what you give us?
Yeah, like I'm literally like every game that anybody cares about, I'm not gonna play. Stellar Blade, I can give three shits about. I don't like how it looked. It didn't do anything for me. Rise of the Ronin, I feel like I played that game 18 years ago on the PlayStation 3. Like I'm good. Um
So
what
like
what other
Death
exclusive
Stranding 1 sold like what 5 million copies, and then like PC Game Pass pushed it to like 10 or something like that. Maybe it sold a few
Oh,
more in
wow.
there, right? So it's not like a huge seller, and I don't know how many people of those 5 million actually enjoyed that game, right?
Well,
And
that's what I'm saying. If you watch the Amazing Lucas, right? We
yeah,
clipped him a bunch of times. I mean, we put a video in there. Somebody clipped him a bunch.
Karim.
Karim, the homie,
Yes.
he clipped them a bunch of times, and we used all those clips and we put it in a video. We were talking about it, but so he was really annoyed with that game because they don't like that game. The game is not a dope game that people are sweating over
He
there. They're
said,
not.
"Give it to the
He said, "Yeah."
Xbox
He said, "We don't want
players.
that shit. Give
We
it to the
don't want
Xbox."
it." Like what? You're not gonna have games then? Like what are we doing
He'd
here?
rather
And Phil
not
don't
have
want
games than have that shit on there. It's
yeah.
crazy,
I
but
mean, you know, this is where they
That
are
I
sounds
mean,
now.
like a
again,
PlayStation thought.
I get it. I get it. No
like I
games
think
is better than these
we
games.
all tried this Death Stranding Part 1, right? We all tried it and did not like
It's
move
very
forward
hit
with
or
it.
miss. Some people loved it a lot. There are a lot of people who loved it, right? But I'd say it's like
But
50-50.
a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like a lot. You know, that's the thing. It's like there are people who loved it, but
Yeah.
did they really? Or was it the only game and some people just accepted it as great? Because bro, that shit, no matter how you cook it, bro, you just walk in. Oh, oh, oh. Like that was the
I
whole
couldn't
game
take
for
it.
how long?
Yeah.
How
I
long
just
can you
realized
do
it
that
was the
for?
predecessor to Baby Steps.
Oh my god.
Yo, Baby Steps saw that. I guarantee you, you go talk to the person who came up with Baby Steps, and they were playing Death Stranding, making fun of it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Is he a baby? Is this the first time he's walking? He's been doing this for years. He still doesn't have the capability of holding all these packs on his back. Like he's a professional at this shit, stumbling everywhere at every moment of time. He's a goddamn baby.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. And that's it. That's where it started. I just discovered them right now. That
Oh
was the
my
reason.
god.
Yo, it was.
Yeah.
I can't. There was nothing dope about that show outside of the multiplats, which Dragon Dogma. I didn't need to watch this show to see Dragon Dogma. They've had trailers before. I already seen the game. Like I'm cool.
So
Right?
do you
I
think
knew it was gonna be dope.
do you think OD actually is Silent Hill? Because wasn't it supposed to be like it's a PT demo, right? It was
It's supposed to be like a PT,
had
yeah. And then
that
like Silent Hill was in the mouth or something like that. I
yeah.
think it's a
So
spirit. It's not actually Silent Hill. It's a spiritual.
I mean, there's nothing stopping Microsoft from getting the
Oh
license.
no! Yes, Konami has Silent Hill.
Yeah, Konami owns
Oh,
Silent Hill. They
shit.
could get the license
That
and
would
say,
be.
"Hey, we wanna work with Kojima to make
That
a
would
Silent
be
Hill."
fucking sick, dude.
Versus the
Can you
blooper version.
imagine?
Do you see the
I was
difference?
about to say, imagine like next year, yo, oh my god, can you imagine next year they release Silent Hill 2 remake and OD turns out to be Silent Hill, and you see oh my god, that would be a massacre.
just saying.
That would be a fucking massacre.
and
Yo.
the PlayStation side gets FedEx Simulator Baby Steps Part 2.
God damn. Listen,
They're spoiled. Those ponies are spoiled.
I don't know, man. I can't fuck with it. I'm very, very, very disappointed in what they are doing.
The best thing that came out of that was Lucas' reaction.
Yes,
that
honestly.
shit was hilarious.
If you didn't who's future generations
Turboverse had his thing. I saw a 2-minute clip.
It was
of him.
so great.
My God,
yeah, he says, "Yo, who's that guy who was cursing up the storm? He's the amazing Lucas. He's a pony." But he went in on that fucking state of play. It was glorious.
It
It was
was.
glorious,
It was
bro.
freaking
Like, that's
amazing.
exactly what I
Not
felt.
like that,
Minus all
yeah.
obviously, he put his Xbox
Oh,
slander
for
in
sure.
there
He was
to
out
make
there
himself feel
talking hella
better,
crazy shit, but,
but
you
we
know,
saw the situation.
within all
Yo.
that, he has some truth.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So from now on, State of Decay, you know, State of Play is State of Decay.
Can you imagine,
Same
State of Decay
thing.
3 comes out, and when you turn it on, it's just live footage of the PlayStation. It's shutting down and melting. It's just you just turn on State of Decay 3. Yes, they did it. Let's see. I can't wait to play it. It's just the PlayStation burning down, multiple footage of PlayStation buildings and all their games just crumbling. It's fucking glorious.
Yeah.
Oh my
It'll
It's
be
the
god.
on
scariest
PC,
game
so
ever.
you can mod it, so you can play it and mod it and have that all in there.
Yo.
Yo, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
Ponies
Oh
are
my
crying right
Jesus.
now.
All
Ponies
right,
are
so
crying.
there they are.
This
They are.
has been freaking wild.
All right, so real quick before we're gonna end because we've been going a very long time, but I had it in the damn name, so I want to talk about it real quick. Okay, really fast.
Let's see.
This week we also saw the numbers from Microsoft and Xbox. Okay, so Benji sales put it all together nicely for us. Xbox and Microsoft gaming results for fiscal year 24 quarter two. First quarter, including Activision Blizzard, says gaming revenue grew 49%. Xbox content and services grew 61%. Xbox hardware revenue grew 3%. Ooh, somebody's buying a console. Gaming revenue 7.1 billion. Biggest quarter in the history of Xbox Microsoft gaming. Can someone please tell me why the fuck we need to put our games on the PlayStation?
We don't, but you know, it's I think even without those numbers, people would still say that they're either going out of business or going third party. But I think at this point they've gotten a taste of what, or Microsoft has gotten a taste of what the potential is, and I think moving forward, having Call of Duty as that carrot on a stick for the other platforms, and then driving people to Game Pass where it lands into that service. I think they have a much bigger, growth spurt over these next 3 quarters.
Oh my God,
Hardware
what
will be
am I
the thing to
watching?
see.
I'm so sorry, Fuzzy. What?
Have you not seen the Gaz sauce video?
No.
This is a
Oh
rap
my
video he
God.
made about ponies.
Oh my god. All right. All right.
I'm
I
sorry,
gotta see it.
Fuzzy.
All
I
right,
just
all
saw
right.
a pony against the wall, just
We-
getting shot.
Is it? Oh my god. Is it good? Where is it?
That
Hargeet,
looks
do me a
like
favor.
Reforged.
Yeah.
Send it to me. Send it to me in Discord. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll put it on. I'll put it on
Oh,
after.
we're gonna play it at
Yeah, we're
the
gonna
end.
play
That's
it.
what's up. Let's
We'll play
go.
it. We'll play it after Fuzzy. After Fuzzy talks his shit.
Come
Come the fuck on.
Oh man.
I gotta get
Yeah.
this on. All right. Go ahead, Fuzzy.
No, but I think basically once they have COD come into Game Pass, I think they will see what their full potential is at that point, and then hopefully from there we can, well, hopefully the news media will start putting away these narratives that they're going out of business in 27, or that they have to go third party, they need PlayStation. I mean, this clearly shows that they don't need PlayStation, in the sense of like things for Starfield or any of their other first party titles that are exclusives at this point. But it's great to see that they're doing well. The sad part is, layoffs, but it's like the nature of business in general these days. The economy isn't at its greatest, even though this company is doing well. But shareholders being shareholders, I happen to be one. They're going to try to cater to them first, and if there's some overlap and some things that are redundant, they're just going to make those business decisions just like any other business. But the numbers look great, and the future for Xbox is bright. When these games start dropping, I expect it to be even brighter. So we'll see. We'll be looking back at, this was their largest quarter, followed by, this quarter is even larger than the last one, and so on and so forth. And I see that being the trend moving forward.
I feel that. I feel that 100%. Yeah, part of this we found out that Xbox has officially eclipsed Windows now. So Windows, which was the bread and butter, obviously Azure had took that Azure took over that spot a little while ago, but still, those Windows dudes, when Xbox was first coming up, they were the top pot and they were out here causing ruckus for Xbox. And now, Phil walks into that building, hardcore Big D energy, bro. Big D energy, walking with his chest out. Window dude's like, "Hey, Phil." He's like, "Fuck you, asshole." Phil, can I get you some no suck a dick, bitch? Like, he's just out there cocky as fuck. I don't want to hear
Not
you.
Phil.
He's in meetings with Satya. He's like, "Satya, set your bitch ass up." I'm the new king of this bitch. I run this shit, yo.
I just picture Bernie Mac like that movie where he's like slapping people. That's Phil right now. All those Windows guys. It's like
Phil, yo.
Hey, we're
Of course,
thinking
that's
about,
100% not Phil. That's not how he is at all.
No,
but,
no.
right?
Who is the captain now?
What you say?
Satya's like, "Hey, can we put the game on PlayStation?" What the fuck? What the? I'm sorry. Oh, all right, you're right, Phil. You're right, guys. Take that off of Twitter. Don't let them know. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Pickle. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Pickle on the table energy. He goes into every meeting with Satya, just whips his shit out, puts it on the table. Like you were saying. You were saying.
Oh, you bum.
People downstairs, they hear this big ass boom. They're like, "Well, Phil swapped out his dick right quick. He just put it right on the table. We know that sound. We can calculate the weight mass distribution."
Oh my god.
Oh, what is happening? It's been a fun podcast. That's what's happening.
Seriously.
So, all right. Before we listen to Gas's fucking music video, Huggy, what do you feel about what's going on with this, man? This is a big deal.
So it's funny, right? That the irony, the reason Xbox exists is why PlayStation said they were going to take over the living room, which was dominated by Windows, and Microsoft's like, wait, what? They're going to touch Windows? No. We can't allow that. So they created Xbox to tackle PlayStation so that they wouldn't take over Windows. But guess who took over Windows?
Facts. Xbox did it, baby.
Okay, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the same company. That's all good stuff, right? But look, I'll just caution you with one thing: 7 billion, nice. It'll get better over time. But PlayStation's numbers are probably going to be better. Just to point out, they have not put out their fall quarter numbers. And the one in 2022, they earned 9.6. So I'm just going to put that out there. So it's very likely that PlayStation will beat that. But over the year, it won't matter because PlayStation won't be selling to that level the remainder of the year. But Microsoft's going to consistently be at that level because of all the service games. Right, a lot of that money is from King. It's from World of Warcraft. It's from Call of
Xbox
Duty.
going up, Sony going down.
And yeah, they're going to be consistently at a very high level, and it'll only keep getting better because they just started integrating. During the fall, they will not have full quarters with them, and it will just keep escalating. So they're going to keep getting better and better. So over the year, it'll probably end up with better than PlayStation. Barely, but it'll be better than PlayStation. But the last quarter, just be be careful of saying that it's really big. It's gonna get eclipsed by PlayStation. But either way, it's good, right? They're growing. They got the amount of revenue that we expected them to get from the integration of Call of Duty, which just it launched during that time frame. But there's still the Warzone stuff that's going to keep generating more money, right? There's still, more World of Warcraft stuff that's going to be coming up, and then probably not this quarter, but next quarter, right? The big expansions that are starting for World of Warcraft, where people will start coming back in droves to start playing that. They still have some good stuff going on with World of Warcraft, right? But I would expect once those expansions start showing up, you're going to get massive engagement and massive revenue from that. So they have a lot to look forward to. Diablo is going to have more stuff coming as well. And then, of course, there's still the Xbox slate of stuff, right? We have the Hellblades and the Indiana Jones and all that. So we have still a whole bunch of other things happening while Elder Scrolls still is going, and Fallout 76 is still going. And they've got plenty of cool things happening, right? So their revenue streams are good. They actually have live games that work, whereas PlayStation's still chasing that. And good luck to them. Hopefully Helldivers does well for them, but I don't know if it will. But hopefully it does something for them. But yeah, it's a good step. We know this was coming. We knew it was coming, right? That they're going to start escalating. I mean, ABK makes a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So they're just going to get that in their bank, which just makes it so much more annoying when I keep hearing these stupid things about bringing Hi-Fi over, bringing CFDs. Like, no, you don't need it. You just don't need it. Shut up. You don't need this. You have so much. I get it. I get with the the need to drive more profits, but you also have to look at your competition and understand the market you're in. And in this market, that just isn't a good play. So I hope they understand that. I know Phil understands it. I think he's pretty good at it. It's really just the tussle with the finance folks, right? They'll figure that thing out, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we expect. It'll start getting even better, and we'll see how that keeps rolling, right? So. They did have a loss as far as the amount of money they made from them, though, because of the integration cost. It cost them nearly $1 billion to actually do the integration work. So that will not happen the next quarter. Obviously, the integration's already done now. So, but they took that hit for the first quarter, and now they will continue to just make profit after profit after profit. So they'll be doing $3-4 billion in profit every quarter. Well, not every quarter, probably over the year they'll make that much, but it'll be a lot. They'll keep generating a lot of profit. So I just don't understand the need. I just don't get why games have to go anywhere else. They already are saying all the ABK games are going multi-plat. Good, fine, whatever. Keep making your money, but those exclusives need to stay exclusive.
Facts. So what about Razor Ultron over here says, Huggy Shiny, what about PlayStation's lower profit margin? I would think it stays low because they sold a lot of hardware, which is notoriously a low ROI part of gaming.
Yeah, and this is a fear they had, right? We saw with the Insomniac leaks that if the mind share shifts, if Xbox does anything to hamper Call of Duty on PlayStation, it will cause a lot of problems. Now, here's the problem for them, right? If Xbox does pull in their next gen in 2026 and they're still on PS5, well, I mean, they're going to take advantage of their box, and it is going to work substantially better on a next gen piece of hardware than the old gen. So if you're going to play on PS5, it's not going to run as well as it's going to run on a next gen hardware. Is that something that Microsoft's going to hamper? Or are they going to just say, hey, well, our next gen came out, so we're taking advantage of our box. What do you want us to do, right? So it's going to run it like, path traced 4K 120 on our box, and it won't do that on yours. What can we do, right? It's going to run on Switch, but it'll do it up to the point that the Switch can handle, right? So is that going to cause them a problem? Well, they think so, and I don't disagree, right? And this is the pitch, right? Is you say, look, you want to play Call of Duty at its best? After 2026, that's going to be Xbox. You can play it wherever you like, but on the Xbox, it's going to run really, really well. It is what it is. And if you want to play Call of Duty as your main game, and oh, by the way, we happen to have, EA's games in Game Pass. So if you're a Madden or FIFA player, you happen to play that or Apex. Well, Apex is free to play. You might play Fortnite. Well, that's free to play. We play that best. We play, Apex best. We play whatever, right? And it starts to become a thing, right? EA is associated with Xbox, and that's the casual games machine. It is, right? So what are you going to do if they get the marketing for NBA on top of that, NBA 2K from Take-Two? I mean, it's kind of hard to say the casual gamer would pass up the next gen Xbox when it's going to be the best place to play all those games. And they can market the hell out of that. And the launch lineup of Nintendo might look good. The launch lineup of that next gen Xbox is going to be insane.
God.
Insane.
It's going to be crazy, bro. If they launch with Elder Scrolls 6, the next Halo,
Blade. Halo, very likely the next Gears. They've got a lot of other games that are lining up for that 2026 timeframe. If they have a launch lineup like that, right? You still got Forza. You see, it just keeps going, right? It's going to be an insane lineup, and you're gonna like how can people say no to that? And you will have Call of Duty. that will be a launch lineup game for you. There's just no way around it, right? It's your game. It's going to launch right along with the console. So you're going to have Call of Duty launch your console. It's very likely bundled with that game, right? So the insane level that you're going to get with that, it's going to be very interesting when that plays out, right? They promised day and date equal everything for everybody, right? But you have to go to the capacity. It's obviously not going to be hampered on the PS5 and Xbox Series X when the Switch 2 gets it, right? The Switch 2 is not going to run at the same level. It's just not. So this is going to be a fun time when we see in 2026, if they really do release that console, what's it going to look like, right? So that parity clause will go away because there's no way out of it. There's just no way out of it, right? So yeah,
they would have 2 years theoretically ahead of PlayStation.
Even if it's one. Just look at the 360.
Well, even if it's one, it's still because that's what happened with the 360. But people are saying they're saying 2028 is what when they
PlayStation
were
was
talking
looking
at.
And if they do release a PS5 Pro, I don't think they have a choice. I think they have to wait to 28. There's just not enough time, right? Like, how are you going to release in 3 years? You're going to release a new console again? I mean, it's possible, but gosh, really? Like,
Plus,
I don't know.
That'll be wild.
Do they give them the dev kits though? That's another thing because they've been
that's their
notorious
problem.
for that.
If they don't want to do that. That's their problem. And but either way, I don't know. Like this is an interesting time. We'll see how it goes. Along with it, as far as the games and whatnot that are coming, I think this is going to be a very good time for Xbox. But I don't know. Whatever. We'll see how that goes. Like I don't know if that answered what you wanted. You asked, but
no. I mean that's fine. Hold on. Let me get my homie JD Gamer.
What is up, baby?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for rocking with us.
We do appreciate you, man. Thank you for that time. The super chat says, I just wanted to point out that the math works. If you sell something at 30% discount and still manage to increase revenue in that area by 5%, that means your unit sales were up dramatically. # no PlayStation 6.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, again, the margins are going to be a problem for them, right? And look, if Call of Duty isn't there, they were saying it's $1.5 billion loss for them per year. $1.5 billion, a profit that they won't be making, right? That was their fear. And if that goes away, like that's a huge hit. Their profit's about 2-ish, right? So that's a huge hit. That's why they're trying to shift to these games as a service things. I don't know if it'll be the full $1.5 billion, right? But the reason they were saying that would happen is because people would run away in droves because it works better on Xbox, and that would happen in 2026. And they're not wrong that that's a problem for them. They're not wrong. And if there's no reason for PS Plus, because the majority of the people who play games on that, they get it for FIFA or Madden or COD. And if COD goes away, that's going to drop their PS Plus subscriptions. It just will. And that's a big hit for them. It just is. They're not wrong that it's a problem for them. I can't disagree, but it's pretty good for Xbox.
I'm not saying that's a great thing for us. Great thing. Let's get JD Gamer back in the baby. Back,
baby. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. That $2 super chat says, pathetic port begging ponies still got no games.
They got no games, baby. Listen, will there be a PlayStation 6?
Oh shit! Doodle's taking a stand.
When King made that prediction, I'm like, dude, there's no way they wouldn't make a PS6. I'm actually thinking like there's a 20% chance they don't do it. Yeah. There is it's not zero now. It's not zero.
If they come out with the Pro and then the Xbox comes out in 2026 and just like decimates them because they still have another 2 years to figure it out, like that's gonna be like 1 year fucked them for the 360. Okay, it was just that 1 year fucked them real good. It took them to the end of the generation.
It was 1 year plus unbelievable exclusives. Right, and guess what they have now?
Yes. Plus, they have the money to get any exclusive they're looking at now, right behind the scenes. They have the money to be like, we want that for launch. We want that for launch. Phil's out here like, I want that. I want that. I'll take that.
The thing that happens is like publishers say, I want my game to look the best. And so they'll do that deal to say, okay, when the PS6 comes out, I'll put it there, but I'm going to launch it on your next gen console because I want it to look awesome. Right. And
Yeah.
so that's how they got a lot of exclusivities, because the PS3 launched later. Right. So it's like, too bad. Right. That's what's going to happen. But
Yo.
no.
Bloodbath,
Agreed.
baby.
So I do have a message here from the homie G Maybe.
G Maybe, what's up, baby?
What's up, player? He did send it over here. He says, most PlayStation 5 games are not lengthy. So what does it take to qualify having a title like Silent Hill: The Short Mess? That's fucked up. It's a short game, but they're all games are fucking short. So what's the difference?
That's nice.
That's a great point.
It makes sense.
I don't know.
man.
And I guess, why isn't it everywhere if they were trying to use it as a sort of like hype machine for Silent Hill? I don't know why they did that either, right? Why limit yourself there? Why not put it everywhere? It didn't look like it was graphically that impressive that it couldn't be on everything, right? So I don't know. That just seems like a baffling decision to me.
It's
Yeah,
Konami.
I feel that,
so.
man. Konami do be on some other shit. Guys, is there anything else you would like to say about this?
Yeah, that
or about
last
anything
comment
we spoke about?
from Razor, whatever. They do not need me. Believe me, these guys have the most brilliant minds. It's Microsoft, for Pete's sake. The caliber of people they hire is insanely
Oh, this
good. They don't need me, and they're already listening to us anyway.
Yes.
So
Let's get Hargeet in there, baby.
Oh man. All right. So any other words on anything that we discussed today, or anything else you just want to say? Anybody? Anything?
Just buy an Xbox.
Just
right?
buy an Xbox.
Just buy an Xbox.
Oh,
I saw
Hargeet,
something
go ahead.
about the Series X being down to $300. I don't know if it was a short-term thing or not, but I saw
Oh,
something
really?
about
Cool.
it being available for $300. I don't know if that's still happening or not, but
Well,
if it is and you don't have one, you'd be an idiot not to buy one. Okay.
it's the time
It's
to
just the
get
way
it.
it is, bro. All right, guys. With that, man, what a show.
You have the video?
Oh, yes, I do have the video, and I want to. So this is what we're gonna do. How long is the video? Can't hear you.
I'm
I think
on
I'm
mute.
mute.
Sorry. Yeah, it's a couple of minutes. It's not too long.
Okay. Let's run it. Let's run it right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna get the. Wait, I gotta. Okay, it's gonna go to YouTube. Okay. Pause it right there. Okay. Now let me go here. Share the screen. Share the screen. Share the screen. Septic. Share that.
Let's go.
Okay. Boom. Now I'm gonna add it. All right. Let's see. Let's see what he got. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Wrong side. There we go. Here we are. Nope. Wrong side again. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. God damn it. All right. Ready? Let's
Let's go.
see. Let's put it all the way. 0.
You know I'm killing it. They're hurt, I'm the one feeling it. Now they're feeling it. My enemies fake, I'm just stealing it. Flipping on the source and you're messing with the boss. No one's gonna be sorry for your loss. Gallopers, keep it to your lies. Say you won't cry, and I guarantee you will. When the bullet from a gun fucking penetrates your eye. Phil Spencer is the sniper, laughing as you die.
Yo, Jim Ryan.
Wanna be gamer. Pretend you think you got comedic skills when your comedy is a little bit lacking status. But still, so until you motherfuckers come at me with some shit, talking about some shit, understand that I got more games than you.
Holding the line until the target's aligned. These pussies are just fully clapped, the content is so benign. Set fire to the whole stable. Pussies on the round table, wearing shoes with no label. Inbred pigs got no hair on their head. The cost of the lies that they spread in the wake of Xbox. Spending billions, not just little millies, like an Aaron, their Achilles, the source but like 1,000 chilies. Consolidation is causing elation, except in the PlayStation Nation. Forced rectal irrigation of these bitches, busting all the stitches. You don't have the riches, leave these portals in the back. Celebrate, we're gonna have a party. Dance on the corpse of Colin Moriarty. Choke off the Saudis, get rowdy. Circumcise the bitch so we can all scream howdy.
When you make that kind of content that's very adversarial, you're not one of the weird like gremlins making fucking 20-minute videos about me. That alienates and isolates you from people and burns bridges.
Pour one out for the FTC and your MBGs and all my enemies. Name is septic. Yes, I'm a disease and you're the one affected. Your leader has now been selected.
When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful.
When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful. When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful. When you're authentic, that's why your product is successful.
Shit. Well, we got some chill beats going too. That's what you didn't know.
Yeah, that's another video, not Gaz. But anyway.
Yeah, that's not Gaz. This is not Gaz's next video.
Shout out to Gaz. That
Shout
video
out
was
to
fire
Gaz.
and hilarious. Thank you so much, Hargeet.
Yo, the
was
production value
wild.
was crazy. My man went and he said something on fire. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna set this shit on fire. I'm just gonna do it and I'm gonna run away. Like, yo,
Yeah, Gaz is crazy.
That was hilarious.
was
Ah.
wild. Well, that is the it's perfect way to end the show, I think, guys. With that, we're done. Thank you all again in the chat for rocking with us. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
you all.
much.
What a fire show. Guys, thank you so much for showing up here, man. We appreciate you
So much,
very
you guys. Thank you.
much. Thank you to everybody who did show up, who had to leave early. But again, thank you guys so very much. Fuzzy, why don't we start with you? Let us know where to find you out in these streets. What you got going on, where you be. Let us know.
Just want to start off by thanking you guys for having me on. Always love doing these podcasts, and it was fun. This was a lot of laughs tonight, so definitely,
we had
definitely a
freaking
fun
great
time.
Thank you, Fuzzy.
But for those that want to hear
You're
my
awesome. Thank you for
kind of losing my voice, for those that want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere. And in about probably 15 minutes, you'll find me on the Xbox Ultimate on Fun Speculations channel starting at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Shop podcast tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow on PTK Blam's channel. And then on Monday afternoon, the Xbox lunch break special with Mr. Boomstick XL, Web Dave, and Crazy Louie, and Crispy Bomb, 12 noon, Double Barrel Gaming. Hope to see you guys there. And thanks again so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for
man.
rocking
And
with
sorry,
us.
I know you have the other show, and I'm sorry that I didn't even notice, man. The time just kind of
We had such a good
Yeah,
time,
time
you
flew by,
guys.
man.
Thank you. It's always a good time when you guys are around.
It did, absolutely.
It's expected.
And the homie Hargeet, we can't find you anywhere on social media, but
Oh,
where
I know.
can we find you on YouTube
Let's go.
and on Discord?
Yeah, so H-Johnny on Discord, H-Johnny on Xbox. And then check out Game On Daily, gameondaily.com, youtube.com/GameOnDaily. And then Septic Sauce is the channel for Gaz, and you can enjoy a lot of his sauce videos. And then Gaming Arcadia, I think, is what Game On Asa has been changed to. Check out his channel. They have a new podcast on Thursdays. I think it's at 4. I think it's 3 maybe. I think it's 8 p.m. UK time. I think that's 3 p.m. US Eastern time with Deadly Headley and Gamsley. So check that out. And then, of course, there's Double Barrel Gaming. We have Primetime Gaming. So Double Barrel is Boomstick XL channel. Check that out actually on usually a lot of days, but at least on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. US Eastern, I'm on that panel. And then Fonz, I'm on Fonz Gaming's channel. And we have our podcast on Sundays at 6 p.m. US Eastern time. It's GameStalk Live, so check that out as well.
Woo.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for rocking with
Well,
us.
guys, thank you again so much. We really appreciate you. Remember, guys, we're not done. We start our week on Sundays here. So on Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, Doodle and I will be back with Morning Quest with Doodle and CMoney. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun slander.
I think
It's going to
so.
be a good time.
I think so, baby.
You guys know how we do. So make sure you're there, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be fun. And then this Tuesday, we have him and a guest with none other then the man himself, Lord Cognito,
Let's go.
is supposed to be in the building. So it's going to be definitely a good one. So don't want to miss that. And then this Wednesday will be our podcast, On Point, the gaming podcast. It's going to be a special one because it's going to be dedicated to the lovely Doodle,
Ooh.
who will be having her birthday on the next day, and we won't
Let's
have a
go.
show. So it's the Doodle special.
The Doodle special.
The
you
Doodle
get.
special. We'll be talking about whatever's going on, but Doodle will be having a lot of fun. We'll tell you that much. So that's then, and then next Friday we'll be back in the building with this very show,
The night shift.
The Night Shift, and on that show we will have the homie Ray Ray.
Let's
And
go.
Fuzzy is supposed to be back.
Let's go, Fuzzy.
Fuzzy is supposed to be back. And we also gonna have the homie Tim Dog in the building.
Let's go.
So it looks like it's fun. Maybe our geek will show up. You never know. We're gonna have a party. I think at this point, like it's like our geek and Fuzzy. You guys just have open invitation. You want to come
Always.
talk? But yes. Outside of that, guys, thank you all so very
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Such a fun show.
Thank you to the chat. Thank you to our snipers. They were
Absolutely.
on point.
On
Thank you,
point
guys.
as always. With that, we're gonna end the show the way we end every single show. Doodle.
Yes,
We're done.
we are.
Until next time,
You're intruding.
you're intruding.